If you caught that, the sun is a star. We are all over it this morning.
And Jen Jensen.
I can't even. I mean,
Good morning.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
I don't know. I'm just like, everything's going wrong, and I don't know what to do. I don't know, but I might go back to bed.
107.5 The Game.
Well, welcome in Monday morning, May the 9th. Jen has made it to studio. Patrick, not so much. And if you saw Patrick's Twitter account, maybe you understand why. @_Patrick Perrette. Looked like he was having a very good time at the Goodyear 400 yesterday, really, I guess, all weekend long.
All weekend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't bother him. I didn't harass him on Saturday. I just assumed that at some point we would see videos or what would be going on, but it looked like a good event. Jen, you were there. The Goodyear 400 taking place yesterday in Darlington. You were on site. Looked like you were very close to the pits, maybe a little bit too close for comfort for some of the drivers, but let's just jump right into it. Your initial thoughts of what it was yesterday, the event that was.
Yeah, I mean, I think the racing was good. At times, I kind of wanted to see a little bit more action, but overall, I think the race was good. Yeah, where we were seated, we were behind the pits, which that just makes me totally geek out because I love watching everything that they do and getting setups. And then, they would do. We were behind BJ McLeod, not as prominent of a driver, but then we also had like Austin Dillon in front of us and Alex Bowman, and then we could see Kyle Larson. And when they would come back and they'd get the tires off the cars, you could see really the wear on the tires, and that was just kind of interesting. It was kind of fun to watch. But overall, we had a really good time, and there were some interesting things that happened definitely at the end of the race,
Mm-hmm.
and Kyle Busch wasn't a very happy person. So it was a NASCAR race.
I think his anger was only second to that, if I remember correctly, the post-race interview of one William Byron. Have you seen the television interview?
I actually have not.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I've got all that dial up this morning to take a look at.
We'll see if you can, I know you got a lot going on there as we get you up and get you going this morning, but maybe you can find that television interview and we can replay that because, it was one where they weren't happy. He was not happy. William Byron was not happy, to say the least, with Joey Logano and how Logano elected to, let's say, move him out of the way at the very
kind
end.
of punted him aside. And I did hear on the on Logano's radio at the end of the race, his crew chief said, well, not going to feel bad about this because, he put us into 2 earlier or at another race or something. And it was like, okay, good luck to you. It's racing, but.
So we will get more into that this morning as we go through. We'll get Jen's take on it. We'll get her take on Patrick's particular setup that he put out on Twitter as well and what she thought of that. We'll also get into the Kentucky Derby. Man, what a Kentucky Derby.
Oh, right?
I mean, just, again, we talked about it. It's an event that's totally different, really, for me than any other sporting event because now, okay, I'll kind of pay attention to the Preakness and the Belmont Stakes. And, I don't know if Rich Strike will make much of a run for the Triple Crown, but the bottom line is it is really it's an exciting event that even if you're not into horse racing and even if you just put $5 or $10 or $15 down on whatever, you cheer for a minute and a half and then you kind of go back to doing whatever in the world you were doing.
Right.
Like it's just strange in that sense that you really are kind of doing whatever you're doing, and then you just stop and you watch a horse race for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and it's like, oh, okay. And you pick right back up with whatever you were doing. And it looked like the race was playing out exactly how the experts had predicted. Epicenter, excuse me. Yeah. And Zandon, it looks like they're going hoof to hoof down the stretch. And all of a sudden blazing horse goes zipping by him and zipping by the entire field and doesn't just win by a nose. It kind of blows him away. 84-1 is what I was told at the track is what it went off. I saw 81-1. Those odds will vary, obviously, as
Ridiculous.
time kind of closes down. But I was told that 84-1 was the odds of it at the track when the betting windows closed. The longest of long shots. And the horse comes from out of nowhere to win a wild Kentucky Derby. Did you get a chance to watch that?
Yeah. Yeah. That was, we're literally watching going, what is happening? And just the motions. I mean, that the jockey, I mean, that horse was going for all it's worth. And then, I thought he was going to eat the
Yeah.
pony that was guiding him after that. That was actually kind of riveting TV too, to watch him not be able to get off of that other horse.
Yeah, it was a certainly a wild event. So we'll get back into one of the biggest upsets, I think, in sporting history is what some people were saying. You've got, we'll get your opinion this morning on maybe upsets that you've seen in your life that rank up there with this. I believe there was the soccer one that we talked about with Coach Tony Annan last week. Maybe a few others. It's interesting where this one stacks up because certainly when you talk about the long shot that was Rich Strike pulling an astounding upset on Saturday evening, the call to post was roughly 6:57. I think it ended up going off at 7:01 because of getting one of the horses into the paddock and getting everything locked up before they fired him out. It was absolutely incredible. And again, it looked like the two favorites, Zandon and Epicenter, were right there. They were going to take the race. It was going to go down just as all the experts had predicted. And then out of nowhere, Rich Strike goes blowing by them. And again, that horse made a move there where it came up on another horse's rear end and it cut right. I mean, in all honesty, to me, I watched it several times. It was a very graceful move. I don't know how else to describe horse racing. Like I don't know if I should be sitting here this morning describing horse racing as graceful, but it was
It was a
certainly
clean move, it was a well executed
didn't
move.
didn't bump the
Mhm.
horse out of the way. Didn't
Exactly.
put him into the railing. So that's all that mattered. So those were kind of the two wild things that we talked a lot about on Friday. Certainly the Goodyear 400. Joey Logano wins that by knocking William Byron out of the way there at the very end. And again, we will kind of see if Jen can find that audio there because yeah,
Yep.
as Larry says on our Buford Lending live stream where you can go and be a part of this morning, uh, he called him a moron. Basically, called it said he didn't want to race him heads up. Had to do something kind of cheap and illegal to win the race. That Joey Logano couldn't beat him heads up, so he had to do something that was kind of illegal. So good. That's the NASCAR
Rubbing his racing,
that's
you know.
the NASCAR that I like, where we've got a
Yeah.
little bit of controversy. Not everybody's all friends. Maybe there's some words exchanged in the pits there after the race, and everybody moves on to the next one. So we'll get into that a little bit more this morning. Coming up at 8 o'clock this morning, John Whittle is expected to be in studio with us, and we'll obviously in the 8 a.m. hour talk a lot of baseball.
Right.
I,
I mean, what do you do?
South Carolina gets trampled on Friday night, 16-4. Just not a good look. Saturday, they're red hot, and I was I was coming back. I'd done some Mother's Day shopping, had run out to get cards and some flowers and a few different things, and I'm listening to Tommy Moody and Derek Scott call the game, and it was early. South Carolina was just mowing over Texas A&M in the second inning, 7 runs in the second, and the bases are loaded. And Tommy's making the comment, "We got to get more." It was 8-0, I think, at that point, or 7-0, 8-0. It was towards the end of the inning, and Tommy is being ultra positive, Tommy, as he always is, and is saying, "We got to get more. We got to get." He goes, I've seen games like this, and the way Texas A&M
Mhm.
can rake,
Yeah.
they can make a comeback. We've got to get more. We've got to get more. We can't leave the bases loaded and look back on this as missed opportunities. Ah, it just
Tommy the soothsayer.
South Carolina builds a 9-0 lead through 4 innings and loses 13-12, and that includes taking the lead in the bottom half of the ninth. They go back up. It looks like they've blown the game. It looks like they've absolutely blown the game. falling. They fall behind 11-10 going into the ninth, but they score 2 runs. It looks like they're going to pull it out. And instead, they gave up 2 runs in the ninth, in the bottom of the ninth, and they lose 13-12. They do come back yesterday and win 9-4, but that's this weekend. That will pretty much end any discussion or thinking of NCAA tournament play. South Carolina 23-22, 9-14 in the SEC. Just a ridiculous loss on Saturday, to put it about as mildly as I can. And again, coming up this morning, roughly in the 8 o'clock hour, not only will John Whittle join us, he'll actually come in studio. We'll talk about a couple different topics, not just South Carolina baseball, but that will certainly be the lead point for Whittle now, and where this team and where this program goes. They do have games this coming week, or they have a game this coming week that you can get out and check. USC Upstate at Founders Park Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. You can hear it right here on 107.5 The Game. You can also check it out on SEC Network. Plus, next week, Kentucky comes to town Friday, Saturday, Sunday for a series at Founders Park. So we will talk some baseball this morning. We'll get into a few other things as well. A lot of Goodyear 400, a lot of Kentucky Derby, a little bit of baseball discussion. Again, John Whittle expected to join us in studio at 8 a.m. this morning. Jen and I will hold down the fort. We'll get a little bit more into that Goodyear 400 and how things played out there. Joey Logano bumping William Byron out of the way. Rich Strike making a huge run there in the Kentucky Derby and South Carolina baseball. Oh, boy, rough weekend. So a lot to get to as we go through. It's Bill Gunner. It's Jen Jensen. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The Extra Point.
With Pearson, Preston, and Gamecock Central.
9 a.m. to noon.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game traffic from the ship.
Yeah, Anthony, I was in Lexington, and the earthquake woke me up. Like I popped out of bed. One of my walls was kind of shaking and vibrating, and I'm not used to that wall shaking and or vibrating. It was something. So that was neat.
Wow, on Friday, Rich Strike, a $50,000 climber, was on the waiting list for the final spot in the Kentucky Derby as the front runners burned themselves out early. The 81 longest of long shots barreled down the rail to score an upset for the ages. A Boomer Esiason.
Broken bricks, falling fences, damaged doors. Gorilla Glue, of course. Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong, 100% waterproof, and bonds virtually everything. Gorilla Glue, for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Al,
Yeah.
who keeps their stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts.
Yeah, you did. It was like I said, it was the Jen. Did you feel the earthquake this morning? You can, if you want to unmute your mic. I don't know if you got to do something, but
Okay, I wasn't sure which way we're going here with it.
yeah, unmute the mics.
Okay. No, I did not, but boy, I sure read a lot about it where people are like, it was.
Oh, it was like. I mean, I need to go back and see. I guess it was in Elgin, but where we're at. Yeah, I woke up. It was kind of like, for me, it didn't last more than I'd say 7 or 8. Say from at least in the time it woke me up. But like, there's a brick wall, right there, kind of how my condo's set up, that there's nobody on the other side of it. So normally if I hear noise, I think somebody just in the place next to me might have gotten up and fallen into the wall trying to go use the bathroom or something in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
But when the wall on my side of the bed starts like vibrating and it's a brick wall, you're like, it's probably not the wind.
Yeah, right. Wow. Yeah, I heard it was what, about 1:30 this morning? Is that about right?
Maybe 2, maybe 2:30. WIS didn't, on my way in, I did not see anything on WIS TV, but I was just trying to go back and.
I was looking on Twitter. Some people were responding to a weather guy on there, and somebody in Blythewood said, yeah, they felt it like pretty significantly, and yeah, whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy that there's really. I don't know if the state has anything on it. Kind of crazy that honestly there's not a there's nothing on any of the news sites. I think everybody's probably just confused by the weather right now.
Oh my gosh, right? Why are we wearing a jacket?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, it was I mean, I guess it just depends on where you were at, but it was a pretty good little earthquake.
This is 1075 The Game. Stop by, shop online today, and see why Heritage Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game with
Patrick Perez and Jen Jensen.
On your home of the Gamecocks, the early game.
1075 The Game.
803-404-6100. If you want to be a part of the program this morning and weigh in, you can also jump on the Buford Lending live stream, where apparently we're informing some of y'all. We're not just being a sports station this morning. We're informing some of you about the overnight earthquake. I see it has registered as a 3.3 that occurred sometime around, I get we're estimating. It woke me up, and I live in Lexington. It was in the Elgin area, but if you're unaware of this, it was an early morning earthquake around 1:30 a.m. I guess sometime between 1:30 and 2 a.m. I didn't exactly. My first thought was not to look at the clock when I kind of raised up out of bed. There's a brick wall that's just to the left of where I sleep on my side. When the brick wall starts shaking, that I know is a tad abnormal, and something is going a little astray in the middle of the night, and that woke me up. Now, I'm typically a pretty heavy sleeper in terms of, like, I woke up, was like, "Huh, might have been an earthquake. I'll find out in a few hours when I get up," and went right back to bed. But a 3.3 earthquake on the Richter scale there, registering on the Richter scale, occurring this morning. And I've seen the reports that it could be felt all the way as far as Aiken County. So if you're a little confused as to what may have happened in the middle of the night and you woke up and you haven't looked at the news just yet, yeah, apparently there's a little earthquake. And on top of that, on the Buford Lending live stream, we're talking about the weather, which I thought it was supposed to be this beautiful weekend. Like, the weather was going to be nice and it was going to be great to go out on the boat and kind of enjoy a weekend without soccer. I was kind of wrong about that. Some severe storms Friday evening kind of rolled through. Saturday was windy and overcast for most of the day. There was some rain that occurred there, and
it was kind of nice too. Actually, I was doing some stuff in the yard, kind of trimming bushes and pulling stuff and whatever. And I was like, well, this is actually kind of nice that I'm not just drenched in sweat. I'm kind of enjoying that part, and it stayed kind of overcast, but yeah, I was expecting just maybe a little bit nicer, and it was cool. Like, it was interesting to see people in sweatshirts at the race yesterday. That you wouldn't have expected that, not at a race in May.
803-404-6100. Jen was down and in Darlington yesterday for the Goodyear 400, hanging out, taking it in as an observer, not having to actually cover, write stories, do videos, do interviews. What was the crowd like yesterday? How was the environment and because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first, was it full capacity for the Southern 500 back in September on Labor Day? Did they go full capacity for that, or was this the first time we've been back to full capacity at Darlington?
I believe, and I would, check with Carrie to be sure, but I'm pretty sure that the Southern 500 was pretty much full capacity.
Okay.
So this was the, the next best thing, and probably more people feeling more comfortable to go out. But I mean, the infield looked full. When we went and visited Patrick and his family, um, there were plenty of people. The stands didn't look too bad, but a lot of people wandered around in the garage area, and just it was like a normal race day. So it was pretty awesome.
Nice to get back
Yeah,
to
normal.
life as we know it, and certainly for the state of South Carolina, a great event that Carrie Tharp and Darlington are able to put on there
Yep.
at the raceway. And again, Joey Logano yesterday. It will be controversial. Jen, you were there. Where were you at in relation to the end of the race?
Looking at the front straight as opposed to the back.
Okay.
So had to kind of jump up to look around to get to the back, but um, I don't think there's going to be a whole bunch of controversy about it. It's racing. Yeah, it would have been nice. Byron was struggling towards the end of the race because I mean, literally, he had like a 10-car lead over Logano, but clearly Byron is starting to struggle because Logano was really making strides. And in only a few laps, he got back to him, and I think he could have raced him for it, and try to get down beneath him or whatever. But again, Logano says that Byron kind of put him into the wall a little bit in turn two, and it's the whole thing of I'm gonna punch out of the way. The gloves are off.
Interesting race there,
Yeah.
which makes for a fun end of the week. There is Darlington. Does not disappoint yesterday. The Lady in Black, not disappointing at all. And we'll continue to get Jen's thoughts on that throughout the morning. Obviously, Patrick will be back in studio tomorrow, and then Carrie Tharp will join us on Thursday. And certainly, I look forward to hearing his thoughts and opinions. And yeah, William Byron, hopefully we get that audio because, yeah, referring to Joey Logano, Jen, as a moron and an idiot. I feel like
It's standard.
vocabulary straight out of the Jen Jensen playbook right there when not happy with how something ends. 803-404-6100. Again, the other thing was Rich Strike. Or the other big sports topic this weekend, Rich Strike, the Kentucky Derby winner, 80-1. Carlton on our live stream saying Rich Strike was the second longest shot winner in Derby history. We'll have to look up and see who the other long shot was that won it. But certainly the Kentucky Derby did not disappoint. But what did disappoint this weekend was South Carolina baseball. They fall to 24-22 on the season as they lose 2 of 3 to Texas A&M. And, we'll see what happens moving forward with this baseball program. Certainly, this is not the program people expected when Mark Kingston took over, not after 5 years. 24-22, 10-14 in SEC play. Coming up in about an hour and a half, 8 a.m. this morning, John Whittle of thebigspur.com is expected to be in studio with us. Will Sanders does save the weekend yesterday. The Gamecocks put up 5 runs in the fourth, 2 more in the fifth, and they're actually able to hold on to this one. They go on to win 9-4 yesterday over Texas A&M to avoid being swept. But, the bottom line that a lot of you will agree with, and Gamecock Larry's pointed it out. It's just odd to hear Gamecock Larry, who's usually ultra positive, be ultra negative. That's the only strange thing about that. But the bottom line is, yeah, it's not South Carolina baseball. You're seeing South Carolina pitching. Obviously, there's been injuries. Obviously, that has hurt what this team could do in the bullpen. But, man, you look at this year, and I don't – how do you fix it? We'll get with John Whittle coming up at about 8 a.m. this morning and find out if there's something you can do recruiting-wise, if it's just a matter of Mark Kingston getting guys healthy, how it would look for 2023 with this baseball team. And maybe even ask him, I know it's no fun to ask the question what he would think the record would be or how this team would have performed if all the arms were healthy, how much that would change maybe our mindset right now if they'd have won a few more games in which they blew some leads late. Obviously, Saturday afternoon, you have a 9-0 lead. You should be able to run out a college pitcher and get the victory, hold on and get the victory. But yet South Carolina with the big lead on Saturday, and they're not able to sustain it, not able to hold on and win. And that's something that's going to really come back to haunt them again as they had a 9-0 lead through 4 innings, but proceed to give up 13 runs in the final 5 innings and lose 13-12 to Texas A&M. And that really probably ended up being the nail in the coffin on this season. So we'll catch up with John Whittle here in about an hour and a half to get his take on that. A couple things off of the text line. If you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100. Our buddy Jim Corley in what is it, Carolina Beach, giving a little love this morning to his Clemson Tigers, pointing out that they had a sweep of a top 25 ranked Georgia Tech team and earlier swept a ranked Georgia team. Go Tigers. Well, they have a chance to make the regionals. I think they're right there on the border, but I think we'll see D1 baseball will have their most recent projection coming out later today. I always refer back to D1 baseball, and we'll see later today. They will put out their field of 64 projections, and we'll see if Clemson projected to be in that last week on May the 4th when they put out their projections. I don't think they had the Tigers in at that moment. I'm kind of scrolling back through very quickly of the last week's projections from D1 baseball and do not see Clemson in there. So right now, still probably on the outside looking in for the Tigers as well. And what that could mean to Monty Lee would be very interesting. Les weighing in on the Buford Lending on the text line saying Rich Strike ran into the back of the horse I picked, Messier. And Jen had Messier as well. We'll get into that
He started off strong.
He did. But Jen, unfortunately, you also had Ross Chastain, who decided not to race the entire race yesterday at Darlington.
Yeah, that was his choice. It was interesting. The exact same thing that happened to him happened to Truex, but we can talk about that.
We will talk a little bit about that because if I'm right on this, you are the lucky person who gets to spin the wheel of agony for the first time coming up either tomorrow or Wednesday. You and I. We'll get that all figured out this morning, maybe in the next segment.
We'll make it benefit us.
That's right.
Keep Patrick out of it.
Well, we'll see if we can make it benefit you, since it looks like you will be
Thank you.
You will be the test hamster for the Wheel of Agony this week. We look forward to that. We'll talk about that. We'll get back in. If you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Gamecocks, check. Braves, check. NFL, check.
We are 107.5 The Game, after all.
College football playoffs, check. Streaming audio, check. Streaming video, check. Live, check. Local, check. Free, check.
Yeah, this is honestly, when somebody just hit us up on the Buford Lending, on the text line and is talking about the weather being cool this past weekend. I actually had to turn the heat on just a little bit just to keep it warm in the house. That's how strange it was. I believe it was down into the low 50s last night. And of course, now it's expected to get up into the 80s this week. All that means is your heating and air unit is getting an absolute workout. That's why last Monday, actually, I had AAA Heating and Air out to my house to just perform an inspection, make sure that everything is working the way it needs to be working, because I don't want to experience a period where my heating and air goes out and I'm sitting there staring at the family as they sweat and stare back very angry at me. You need to do the same. You need to get AAA Heating and Air out to your house today to have a inspection done on your heating and air unit. Make sure everything is running the way you want to. Right now, if you're a new customer for AAA Heating and Air, you can get a pre-summer maintenance package for $49. That's right. Get them out. Just make sure everything is working properly. There's no hiccups, no surprises this summer. And then if you do need, or if you're in the market for a new heating and air system, AAA Heating and Air has got you taken care of. If your credit's shot, don't worry. They'll get you guaranteed financing. That's right. They'll make sure financing is something that they can take care of for you, even if your credit is shot. You can check them out. You can give them a phone call today, 803-677-1500. Of course, you can always tell them Bill Gunner sent you. That's pretty important. Of course, right now, the next 60 days, April and May, they will have a pre-summer sale with a $1,500 system buyback, instant rebate, 0% interest for 60 months as well to well-qualified buyers. So don't let that heating and air unit go out on you at the worst time possible. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Either get a pre-summer maintenance inspection, or if you're in the market for a brand new system, today is the day to get that started. And again, guaranteed financing, 15-year parts and labor warranty, and transparent repair pricing. Call AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. That's AAA Heating and Air. Call them. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com.
No accidents to report right now, and let's hope it stays that way. We need a nice start to our work week. And your forecast, not too bad either. It's going to be 75 today under sunny skies, and that continues warming up through Wednesday, 79 on Tuesday, 80 on Wednesday. It's windy, though, right now, and it's 52 at 107.5 The Game.
Spring sales event going on now at Champion Defense Firearms Training and Sales in West Columbia. Get huge savings on guns, rifles, accessories, and more. Champion Defense will also do pistol and rifle upgrades and custom builds. Champion Defense owner Jay Harris and his team will assist you with all your gun buying needs. They also offer the SCCWP course and a number of firearms safety classes. Go see them now for their spring sales event. They're located on Augusta Highway behind Chick-fil-A next to Ombre Nails. Or call 803-553-7353.
Okay, we've gathered you here in Yield Conference Room to announce that thanks to all your hard work, there will be bonuses this year in the form of gift cards to Grimwald's Tavern.
Throughout history, people have always been underpaid. Search jobs by salary at monster.com or download the app.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. So give Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning a call. Schedule today and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $119. Mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get a hallway cleaned for free. Schedule online at ZerorezColumbia.com.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
It's Truck Month, and that means the biggest savings of the year. And none of the price hiking add-ons. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com.
Hey, y'all, Jay Phillips here from my good friends at Dan's Van City in Harbison. Ceiling fans don't sound like something you think about a lot because you don't really need to, but when you've got good ones, they work so well, keeping energy costs down and your comfort level up.
There we go. All right. Yep, Jen and I have got to get the we're working on it right here. We'll see here. So, I got my pen right here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so 3 winner's choice, 2 loser's choice, the pizza, the free pass. So let's see, 3, that'd be 4, spray tan is 6, flute is 7, free pass is 8, Brian is 9, 2 loser's choice takes us to an 11. The nails painted was really good. That was 12. So we need 2 more. Because the intern, we could do the intern. I like that. Just go ahead and put that on there. That's 13. And then that leaves 1 more.
Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall. If you're allergic to pork or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any.
Talk about karaoke thing. You're gonna would have to find that on that.
I got that on here.
Was karaoke on there?
Karaoke's on here. See, Reaper chips, karaoke, spray tan. Anybody got suggestions here real quick? I don't want to. Flute down Gervais Street, free pass, Brian's choice pizza, 2 losers choices, the intern for a day. Wait a minute, how did I skip that? Or maybe we have. Oh no, I backed up there. So we got 13. We need 1 more. But the run the board thing, that probably needs to be separate because if one of y'all spun that and hit it,
Yeah. So that could be a winner's choice.
yeah, I mean winner's choice can be.
EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie. Hey, y'all, this is your girl Cheryl Underwood.
Well, no, wait a minute. When we say winner's choice, oh no, I guess.
Yeah, because if
I always said the winner's choice on the loser. Well, no, I think actually I see how that works. The winner, not the loser. I think Patrick said he liked that. Is that it's not always the loser. If we spin it and it's the winner's choice, but that means we got to spin it. Or maybe that means the loser gets out of jail. That's like 3 more loser gets out of jail cards. We'll talk about it. I like that. Actually, that goes back to one Patrick said about. Yeah. All right. I'll talk and then I'll call for that audio. That will give you a second.
.637 on a chilly Monday morning. Make sure the kids are just a little buttoned up this morning. It's going to end up warming up and being nice. It's going to be about 76 today, I believe. I go to say that and then question what I saw on my weather app, and then I open up my Amazon Music app,
Yeah,
which
you're
is
about right. 75, 76 today.
so yeah, it'll warm up. But 50 degrees right now feels like 48 out there. So as you get the kids up, getting them off to school, just a few weeks left, kids. Just a few weeks left. It'll be Memorial Day before you know it, and then the very end of school will be here, and we'll be off and into the summer. 4th of July, you'll blink. The 4th of July will be here. Well, I guess we should, if we just celebrated Mother's Day, I should mention Father's Day in June as well. 4th of July will be here. It'll be August. The school will be starting back up, kids. Just think about that.
Okay,
I
can you stop?
just blew right through the summer, didn't I? And then it'll be time.
Christmas shopping.
Yeah,
Okay, like
well,
what?
I was gonna get
What are
to
you doing?
I was gonna get to football season at least. That's where I was going with that. But a fun weekend, very entertaining, whether it was the Kentucky Derby or whether it was the Goodyear 400 in Darlington this past weekend, and Joey Logano wins. But here's William Byron post-race discussing Joey Logano, and I don't think the two will be sending each other Christmas cards this year.
Heard from Joey, and it sounded almost like it was a retaliation thing. Did you guys have something happen before that?
No, I mean, we were really close off of 2, and I think it spooked him and got him tight, and he was right against the wall, and I got the lead. And he's just an idiot. I mean, he does this stuff all the time. I've seen it with other guys, and I mean, he drove in there 10 mile an hour too fast. And with these next-gen cars, he slammed me so hard it knocked the whole right side off the car, and no way to make the corner. So, yeah, he's just a moron. He can't win a race, so he does it that way. So, I don't know. Well, yeah. It was close racing on the restart. We were faster than him. Obviously, at the end, right rear started to go away, and, yeah, he didn't even make it a contest.
That's what makes that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I watch a ton of NASCAR. I think we've all established that in the last 3 or 4 years. But that is what makes NASCAR good when you have rivalries and drivers that do not like each other, and you get a little bit of controversy and you get some anger going into the next race. Then we're not all buddy and cheery. Very good for William
Makes it
Byron
fun.
yesterday.
Yep, that
Yeah.
makes it fun, and it is part of racing. Yeah, it would have been nice if Logano had raced him cleanly, because like he was saying, Byron's rear end was going away, so like he was losing some grip and just wasn't be able to maintain his speed. So it would have been fun, but again, punting him out of the way, that's kind of part of it sometimes.
Sometimes that's all part of it. Other news from not only the weekend, but last night in particular, the Philadelphia 76ers defeat Miami last night, 116-108. That series now tied 2 games apiece. The Dallas Mavericks knock off the Phoenix Suns. They've come back to make that a more entertaining series. That series 2-2 now after Dallas wins 111-101 yesterday. I was more into hockey throughout the week. The hockey playoffs were really getting going. The Carolina Hurricanes have been very entertaining. And yesterday, though, they drop a 5-2 decision. So they've now lost back-to-back games in Boston to the Bruins. Interesting to see where this goes. Our good buddy over at Love Chevrolet, Dennis Rowe, a huge Bruins fan. So, no, he's very happy this morning as the Bruins take down the Hurricanes on Mother's Day. That series tied 2-2. The other one that I keep an eye on because of I hate watch it with Tampa Bay, my good buddy Andy, who lives down in Tampa and gets very obnoxious. We all know people like that who have no real connection to an organization, yet they move into an area. They just become fans because the team is winning championships. That's exactly what my buddy did down in Tampa, and the Tampa Bay Lightning win a game yesterday. They win 7-3. It was awful to watch, actually. I was hoping for something pretty entertaining, but the Lightning win 7-3. That series now tied 2-2 there. Tonight, you've got a little bit more NHL going on. Patrick and I have talked about this. I will promote. I'm a basketball guy at heart. I watched the Heat and the Sixers last night, but I will promote the NHL playoffs, the intensity. It's a fun thing to watch. I will promote that over the NBA playoffs. If you're trying to decide between a sporting event at night, I'll promote the NHL over the NBA every day. Tonight, you get Patrick's Capitals, who are are up on the Florida Panthers 2-1. That'll be game 4 there. It'll be in Washington. So I know Patrick will be excited about that. You get the Rangers and the Penguins tonight. Penguins up 2-1 in that. the Avalanche and the Predators. Avalanche up 3-0 over Nashville. That game late tonight. Don't know if I'll be able to make it up for that. And then Calgary, Dallas tonight also. So you got some NHL, some NBA going on. We'll talk a little bit more South Carolina baseball. Again, John Whittle set to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. He'll be here in studio for the whole 8 o'clock hour. If you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100, how you can be a part of the program via the text line. Mike in Lexington. What about the earthquake last night? Did you guys hear and feel it? Jen slept through it, apparently, is what she said. I did not. I woke up. The house was shaking, or there was a wall in particular, because it was windy on the lake. It was windy last night. The boats were rocking pretty significantly. So, but there was a wall in my house that was shaking fairly significantly that caught my attention. We did feel that. 3.3 on the Richter scale earthquake registered last night around 1:30 a.m.
This was about 5 miles from Lugoff.
Yeah, crazy how far that thing resonated or was felt out. Some people saying they felt it all the way in Aiken. So
When you look at one of the maps and it reached, it was, it had a pretty wide swath, or whatever they call that. I need to get the verbiage.
Yeah, we're not really earthquake experts
Away from
around
the center,
here.
it went quite a ways, and because it looks like actually they could have felt some things even in Charlotte.
There you
A
go.
little bit of ripple effects.
On the Goodyear 400, Jerry weighing in. Dale Earnhardt used to run over people all the time. That's what he says. So rubbing is racing, as they say. We'll continue talking about that. Jen and I, during the break, have narrowed it down. Unfortunately, I need to confirm this, and we will try and do it here before the top of the hour, but I'm fairly certain Jennifer will be spinning the wheel of agony tomorrow to find out the punishment, or as it could be winner's choice. The winner, because there's one on there where I guess even if I lose, or even if I don't know if I technically won. I think Patrick may be the technical winner. The lowest, I guess, whatever you would say. He picked Epicenter, who finished second in the Kentucky Derby, and he had Hamlin, who I think finished the end of the race. The end of the race kind of became irrelevant to me there as Truex Jr. dropped off significantly. But I believe, Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, did Hamlin finished above Truex Jr. pretty significantly there. Truex Jr., I thought there for a while was going to pull it out for me and ended up not doing it, correct?
Yeah, because Truex Jr. ended up hitting the same area that Chastain did. So he ended up spinning out. He finished 24th, and Hamlin was 21st.
21st, yep. So I think Patrick was finished first. I finished second, and you finished third in our picks this weekend. I think actually the way it went is Patrick picked the top driver horse. I picked the second one in both of them, and you had the third. So we will get into some Wheel of Agony discussion as well. If you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up
on the next halftime show.
Hey guys, Jay and Terry coming up on the Monday halftime show. There will be no Terry. What do you just?
I will not be here.
Taking a day off?
Yeah, I'm slacking.
Yeah.
We're Kentucky Derby.
So you'll be hungover.
Oh yeah. I'm a party guy.
Either that, or I figure you're heading to Baltimore to work on the Preakness pre-race.
Yes. The pre-race, because I'm part of the pre-race committee for the Preakness in Baltimore.
There you go. And nothing nefarious to see here.
No,
that would
it's
never
nothing
happen.
like The Wire.
Yes,
nothing like The Wire.
That would never happen. We will, though, in all seriousness, recap the Gamecock baseball series against Texas A&M, Braves and Brewers on Hank Aaron weekend. We'll discuss some of those things for you. And I imagine something else brand new about NIL will be out there in one form or another. We'll get into all that and more.
The Halftime Show with Jay, Terry, and Tommy.
Noon to 3
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Mother's Day is now past. It's time to start thinking about Memorial Day and that big Memorial Day party that you're going to have. You want people coming over to a clean home, and with Zero Res, that's exactly what they will do. I'm sure you've been hearing about Memorial Day sales, and at Zero Res, it's no different. They've actually got one that you want right now. Zero Res carpet and air duct cleaning is the best of the best to get your home clean and healthy. Take advantage of their Memorial Day sale going on now. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $119. And when you mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game, you get a hallway cleaned for free. You can schedule online with ease, ZeroResColumbia.com. Com. You can get a phone call, 803-262-4020. Look at me, once again, remembering the phone number. That's key in doing an endorsement. Right now, call 803-262-4020, Zero Res, and take advantage of the Memorial Day sale. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. And again, when you mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game, you'll get a hallway cleaned for free. You can call that phone number that I am remembering this morning, and you should remember as well, 803-262-4020, or you can schedule with ease, ZeroResColumbia.com. I'm telling you what, Zero Res is taking care of me and my family, made sure the house is nice and clean. They'll do the same. Your Memorial Day party will be ready to rock and roll. Just give them a phone call or schedule online. Either way, it's the right way to clean. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. I can guarantee you it's the right way to clean.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com.
And things still looking pretty good out on the highways this morning. Seems like everyone is behaving out on the highways. We like that. And your forecast looks
Sunny skies through at least Wednesday. 75 today, 79 tomorrow.
Yeah, Jason, I think, but I was thinking that, but I also think that there should be the winner maybe should be able to, if we spin the wheel, now we'd have to spin it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday morning. We're spinning a week late. So typically what we'll do is spin probably tomorrow for Jen's punishment, and then come back and spin again for next week's punishment for whatever we're going to pick for the weekend. But the reason I say that is I was thinking it's not the worst idea for the winner to actually be able to decide which of the 2 losers has to suffer the punishment. Like, that's a true winner's choice. So that, like, and I kind of agree with what Patrick was saying about it shouldn't be all about the loser every time. The winner should get to, like, if Patrick won and the wheel was spun, then he gets to say, no, I'm the winner. I get to choose who suffers the punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
And it's not always about the loser. There is a prize for actually legitimately winning, where Patrick may want, or maybe but maybe we should limit that to 2 winners' choice and put 2 more on the boards. Cut it from 3 to 2.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Because that shouldn't be the dominating option.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll go 2 winners' choice. Where the actual the winner gets to pick the loser and tell them what to do.
They get to pick the loser?
Well, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So
they can pick of the bottom 2.
Right. So it's all about the winner. The winner actually wins instead of telling the third place person.
Okay, I got it. I understand.
That way it's more about the winner than the loser. The loser is not actually, because technically the second and third person are the losers.
Okay.
So I think that's what we'll do. We'll have 2 winners, where the winner actually can. Because if we spin it and I win, I might, just because Jen hadn't been able to do the karaoke outside, maybe I want Jen to do the karaoke outside. I would find that funny, and maybe Jen would want me to run the board for a day. You see what I'm saying? So if you pick it and you win, instead of .651 on a Monday morning, May the 9th. Hope all the mothers out there had a great weekend, a fantastic Sunday. Should be Mother's Day every day, though. your mother, your grandmother, whoever, whatever relationship, whoever is something of a mother to you, you should treat them well each and every day, not just one day a year, Jen. The mother should get the love 365 days a year, just like Valentine's Day. You shouldn't do something just special one day for
Absolutely.
the mother. It goes the same way with the fathers too, though.
Yeah, whatever.
Mhm.
No, it
Mhm.
definitely does. Everybody should be treated well every day.
That's right. Be nice each and every day.
Mhm.
Unless you're Les, who weighs in on our text line and says, "Come on, Jen, spin and suffer."
Okay, wow.
Good text, Les. I like that. Good text. We are discussing off air our wheel of agony. All right. So far, we have two winners' choice. Now, I'll get back to this winner's choice in a minute because a little bit of debate is breaking up. But here's what's going to be so far on the wheel. We have the Reaper chips, which our buddy Richard on the text line has sent in and suggested. We may have to get Richard's help with that. We have karaoke out here behind me on Gervais Street. I'm really excited about that one. The loser has to get a spray tan. That could be interesting. Jen has a flute, right? You're the owner of a flute, the musical instrument, a flute, correct?
I am working on seeing if I can get kind of the
You gonna
pad.
turn your mic on, and you're just gonna stare at it.
I'm just gonna stare at you.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I actually pulled the flute out this weekend.
Good.
Might need to get the pads redone, which would be okay because I kind of want to.
What should we do? The flute? It's either one. Musical instrument down Gervais
no,
Street
that's
is what we'll call it because I was also. It might be to have one. I think it's like a kazoo.
Mm-hmm.
One of those. So okay, we'll just say musical
instrument.
musical instrument down Gervais Street. Let's see. Then we're gonna have a free pass where if you can spin and hit that, if the loser spins and hits that, then they're okay. Or they can save that free pass, I guess. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Glenn has wanted to get involved. He felt he let everybody down with the pizza that he tried to make for me back in December for the season-ending payoff for the picks contest in football.
He did not let anybody down. He did a good job.
We're going to have two losers' choices where the loser gets to pick their own punishment. That way the loser is not completely in agony. We have intern for a day. The loser would have to be the intern for the studio. So if we send Jen or Patrick when they lose to get coffee or to get donuts, or if we need something here, they have to instantly stop what's happening and what they're doing and go be an intern.
And did we decide we're going to have to do that on another show as well?
We're working with the other show on that.
Yeah.
The one of the most horrifying ones for me is nails being painted. We would bring in somebody to paint the nails. So we've got right now we stand at what are we at, Jen? We're at 12. We need 2 more suggestions this morning. Send them in. We're gonna do this tomorrow. We'll spin when Patrick is back. Jen will be the official test guinea pig or hamster, and we will get the wheel of punishment up and running. We need 2 more.
I thought we had them all. So
we did, and then we threw away the paper because we're a very organized bunch here.
Yeah, but what I have written down now, I thought we had all 12. So
I thought you said we had 14 spots on the wheel.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We got 12.
I'm doing your math.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We have 14 spots on the wheel is what I've been told. So we're going to 14. So we will do that. So if you've got some suggestions, we did have it. Then I threw the piece of paper away because again, it's a very organized radio show that we do around here each and every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We are very appreciative of each and every one of you joining us to try and keep us organized.
Or tolerating us, whichever,
We're now trying to get all that. John from Earl's Inlet weighing in this morning. Good morning. Do you think this weekend is the nail in Kingston's coffin? We'll have John Whittle on in an hour. We won't necessarily ask that question. I think in terms of the NCAA tournament, I don't know. Is it NCAA tournament or bust this year? Is it a Frank Martin situation where it was tournament or bust? There's obviously no NIT. There's no NIT, no secondary tournament for the NCAA baseball.
But we did make the postseason last year, so
They
to me,
did.
you should at least.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's an interesting question. I know a lot of you are agitated, frustrated, whatever you're looking for with the baseball program. 24 and 22, currently 9 and 14, or 10 and 14 in SEC play. We'll continue talking about that. John Whittle set to join us in the 8 o'clock hour. Plenty more to get into in the next hour. It's the early game where people want us to get pepper sprayed. We'll talk about that too.
107.5 The Game. East Over Columbia. Cumulus Media Station.
Summer is almost here. Your home for some fun signature.
Tell you what, let's see here.
Pepper spray. What the heck?
Yeah, let me
I'm gonna go get some at the printer.
All right, we're both gonna walk. I'm gonna walk to the car and see if that sheet is in my car. I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourself.
I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free.
So that's our wheel. We could write them in, but I want to make sure we can see it. So it's printing sheets of paper, and we'll attach those. So it's a pretty wheel. Didn't have to be whittled.
$100. Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now.
And we have a spinning part.
Use promo code 3 for a $5 bonus on your first take.
We have a base for it. What if one is a pick two? That's an interesting thought.
Download the free Upside app and use promo code 3 for a $5 bonus on your first take. That's code 3 for a $5 bonus.
Actually, that's good size.
I'm fired up to grow for burgers along with friends and neighbors. You'll love this Cabernet with your burgers. Wow, great price.
Boy, got really noisy in his studio.
All wine and more. Drink responsibly. 21.
Should we lock him out and not let him back in the studio?
Modern medicine or personal hygiene. Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like
Is it just me or is this guy's voice annoying? At least on this commercial.
in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is at Navage.com or in CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. We treat you like ridiculous add-ons and the lowest price guaranteed. I-26 and Harbison with Love Chevy.
She's kind of a big deal. Some people like to say it's only because of how she looks. She sticks with crowd, but there's just something about her that makes people do crazy things, like get tattoos of her face or wait in line for hours just to say hi. Lil Bub is a 2-year-old cat.
This is the danger if, they're. I feel like Jen and Patrick are just looking for a free day off.
How are we doing that?
Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines real quick. Rusty,
Okay, sleep number at 712.
45 seconds. Make it quick.
Sleep number at 712.
Yep.
Okay.
And as we were marching to the French quarter of the band, or they get along the side of the band, he said, look straight ahead, don't look up. Well, as a 15-year-old, I looked up, and the women along the balcony were exposing themselves. And I want to tell you, it's one of the greatest parades I've ever been in my life, guys.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
Yeah, good fans, Bill.
107.5 The Game.
Oh.
We start hour number 2 with a suggestion. for the wheel of agony. This is I get a little sick just saying it out loud, but this is up Patrick's alley here as terms of punishments. Les weighs in pickled pig feet.
Oh, I'd pay whatever we decide to do. Like, you can donate to a charity. I'd have to, because it would not be a family show if I had to do that.
No. Some of you are
There's a reason I'm not on those shows. Like, what was the one? Not Real World. The Dare. Oh, the one where people like let themselves be covered in spiders and ate nasty things, and I forget what the name of that show was.
Yeah.
It was black and yellow logo, and
Lauren Hill, the former Dutch Fork alumni and former South Carolina cheerleader. I think it was Lauren. I don't think it was her sister Jamie. Lauren, I think, participated in that during a halftime Super Bowl, I believe, back when I was in college. So we're talking about 7 years ago, really. No, about 15 years ago, 16 years ago, and won. And I'm trying to remember what Fear Factor. Yes, thank you. Multiple people. Richard, Anonymous, Scott, thank you. Fear. Some of you were way too quick to remember and say, yes, Cody, good grief.
And I'm sorry, we're like radio people, and I didn't sign up for that. So, I'll do some dares. I ain't going that far.
Our text line's never blown up that fast. 10 texts just came in. And
nope.
Some of you are huge fans there with that. So thank you. Thank you for weighing in. You loyal early game listeners who had your phone ready to go. Fear Factor. Yeah, that was an awful show. I'm with you on that. Hosted by Joe Rogan. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you for nobody really cares to weigh in this morning on what has happened this past weekend. South Carolina baseball, they dropped 2 of 3. I don't think that it was a surprise that they dropped 2 of 3. I think that.
But the scoring was what was just.
It's the Saturday. It's the Saturday game.
Yeah, well, for sure. And you had it.
If South Carolina had, say, lost 13-12 on Saturday, but they had not, let's say they did not have a 9-run lead, which they did after 4 innings, they had a 9-run lead. If they'd have lost 13-12, but it had been back and forth throughout the game, it had never been more of a 3-run differential at any point in the game, and Texas A&M scores 2 in the 9th and they win the game. Yeah, a lot of you probably would be sitting here this morning saying, okay, that's South Carolina baseball. I'm not shocked by that at all. That is what this team is. That's who they are. Okay, not shocked. Not happy, but not shocked. But to blow a 9-run lead, it's one thing, again, you get beat 16-4 on Friday night, and it seems like South Carolina is good for one of those on a road trip where they just get pummeled and blown out of the stadium. But Saturday, it looks like you've bounced back. You've righted the ship. It's 9-0. And it looks like things are going to turn around. And not only that, but if you're looking big picture after the 4th inning on Saturday and you're up 9-0, if you're looking big picture, you're thinking, we got Will Sanders heading to the mound on Sunday. We could do some damage here. We might be in a pretty good position because Will Sanders obviously has been very good this year. Will Sanders pitches a very good ball game on Sunday afternoon. He moves to 7-2 on the season. South Carolina does win that one. But yeah, after about the 4th or 5th inning on Saturday, you're thinking, okay, that's all right. Last night was the anomaly. Last night was the game that, that typically things kind of tend to go wrong for us. But here we are going into the 5th up 9-0. Should be able to hold on to this one. And instead, South Carolina gives up 5 runs in the 5th, 1 run in the 7th, 5 more in the 8th. And then they do rally to take the lead in the 9th. They go up 12-11. And then they give up 2 in the 9th to lose 13-12. And I think that's what gets to everybody right there, is that loss. Because, again, if South Carolina loses just 13-12, but, again, it's a back-and-forth contest on Saturday afternoon, and South Carolina loses 2 of 3, most of you are probably this morning saying, yeah, that's about right for this team. Texas A&M was ranked 13th in the country, or is ranked, or was ranked. I guess when new polls come out today, they'll be higher, maybe lower. I don't know what the rest of the top 15 did this weekend. But the bottom line is, I think most of you would say, okay, yeah, that's about right. Instead, they blow a 9-run lead. And that is really where we're at with this baseball program. And I think now the question becomes, and it's a fair question, can Mark Kingston do whatever is necessary to get this team back to being I don't even. I'm not even going to say right now an SEC contender, just a yearly participant in the NCAA tournament. Really, under Ray Tanner, South Carolina. Obviously, I always said that what South Carolina was doing in baseball under Ray Tanner, we really took for granted. Not the greatness of the College World Series trips, let alone the College World Series wins, but the consecutive years making the NCAA tournament. And I think what it was 15, I think it was 16, something ridiculous like that for Tanner. He missed it, I think, in 97. I have to go back and look at the exact years, but Ray Tanner misses it. I think it was in 97 or 98. And then they bounce back, and I think they go to something like 14 consecutive, 13 maybe under him, 14 consecutive, whatever it was. And obviously in there was multiple trips to the NCAA tournament. Then you capped it off by 3 straight NCAA tournament championship appearances, obviously the back-to-back national championships that occurred in 2010 and 2011. The run that South Carolina went on was really absolutely ridiculous. And again, maybe in a lot of ways, we definitely took it for granted going back. Tanner, let's see, made it. Yeah, he made it in 98, missed in 99. 99, they were the SEC East champions, 35 and 23, 15 and 15 overall, but they missed the NCAA tournament. Then the following year would be the 56 and 10 year, and that would start a string of 12 straight under Ray Tanner, 13 straight NCAA tournament appearances. Chad Holbrook would turn it into 14, and then actually would get all the way to 15 before missing in 2015 there under Holbrook. And since then, since missing that one, it's it's lacked for I don't know. There's not a better way to be nice about it. Since 2015, if you throw out the COVID season, just because obviously nobody went, but since 2015, you go back and there's only been 3 NCAA tournament appearances in 6 years. That's not South Carolina baseball. When you hear Gamecock Larry talk about that and say, yeah, it's not Gamecock baseball, totally agree with him. That's not what a lot of us had become accustomed to over the previous 15, 16 years prior to that. 803-404-6100. How you can be a part of the program this morning. Anonymous texter weighing in. Doesn't Kingston feel a lot like Muschamp? Good for 1 or 2 good wins, but can't step on throats when we have a lead. Rick weighing in this morning. I'm on the fence on whether or not Kingston is the right person to lead this program. However, this might be his best coaching year. He has 2 SEC quality pitchers, one of which is a transfer from Appalachian State who was recruited to be a bullpen guy. He only has 2 dependable relief pitchers, both of whom are freshmen. In spite of this, South Carolina has a chance to be 500 in the SEC. So a couple of you with some varying opinions, if you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100. Ken texting in. I have not confirmed this, but I'm going to take Ken's word for it. It says College of Charleston won the CAA regular season championship yesterday, 31 and 15 overall, 18 and 3 in the CAA. So a couple of you weighing in. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines, Jen. Mike is on the line. Mike wants to talk a little Gamecock baseball. How you doing this morning, Mike?
I'm okay, Bill. I think I feel kind of like everybody. Saturday was frustrating, man. I think, Saturdays have been a big issue. You look back at the Auburn series, blew a lead. Missouri blew a lead. This past Saturday, blew a lead. I think what's frustrating is, pitching is doing a lot of it too. Saturday we had, Kate Austin came in, Becker. I think I would be a little bit better if they would quit walking people. First of all, Becker maybe wouldn't have given up the game-winning home run if he hadn't walked the guy before Minnick on Saturday. I don't know what pitching coach is teaching them because I don't understand. Not attacking the hitters. It seems to be. It's very frustrating seeing them walk these guys. I'd rather them give up hits. But then you look at the bigger picture. Okay, so we're not out of it for this season, but we certainly got to make a good run at the end of the year here. But if you look at Kingston versus Holbrook, Holbrook made postseason a lot more than Kingston did, and he got fired. So I don't see how you could justify keeping Kingston if he doesn't at least make postseason this year.
Appreciate the phone call, Mike. You look at Holbrook now. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people who will say with Holbrook, he took over a Ferrari. He took over a program. So he did make. Chad Holbrook in 5 seasons made 3 NCAA tournament appearances, and that includes 2 super regionals. Mark Kingston, in his first year, taking over for Chad Holbrook, obviously made a super regional. That was the Fayetteville regional, where South Carolina went out and played Arkansas for a chance to go to the College World Series. And then that has been his only appearance since, well, last year, excuse me, his only appearance until last year. Now, again, they were off to a 12-4 start in 2020, and the season was canceled to COVID. So, for Mark Kingston, technically, in my eyes, it's year 4. We don't know how that 2020 season would have turned out. Some people can say, well, they lost these games out of the 4, and some people can say, who knows, maybe that team goes on to do something really good. Certainly, how this season continues to play out, I don't know where a lot of people would place the odds there on them finishing 500 or even getting close. This weekend, they've been good at home. South Carolina's been good at home. They get Kentucky at home this coming weekend, 7 p.m. on Friday night, SEC Network Plus. You can hear it right here on 107.5 The Game. Saturday is a noon game on the SEC Network. And then Sunday, the final game, 1:30 there, SEC Network Plus. And again, you can hear all 3 of those right here on 107.5 The Game. And then you close out the season with a trip to Florida. And, this team on the road, man, they struggle. I mean, that's to put it mildly, right? That's being very nice. They're 3-12 this season on the road. So we'll continue talking about this coming up in about an hour, a little less than an hour. John Whittle of thebigspur.com will join us, and we will get back into some baseball discussion as it pertains to his thoughts, not just on this team, but I do want to ask him, to Mike's point, to a couple of you others on the text line, what if South Carolina, I know it's not fun playing the what if game. And I don't mean to play it in the, in the general sense, but it is a fair question of, okay, if all the pitching is healthy this year, do we feel there's a 4 or 5 game difference on the South Carolina schedule where maybe we're talking, instead of being 9-14, Mike brought it up. Yeah, they've blown leads in the ninth. I've seen that. We saw it to Clemson in game 1 after Will Sanders threw a gem in the opening game of that. They blew a game against Georgia. They blew a game against Auburn. Obviously, Saturday. There's 4 right there. There's 4 right there that we put out. 3 of those in SEC play, by the way, that would have you from being 10-14 to 13 and 13 and 11. So you see kind of where I'm going with that. It's certainly a question worth asking. We'll ask that. We'll get into more of that. Get back into the Goodyear 400. Let you hear that audio. Loving that audio there from William Byron from yesterday, where Joey Logano decided William Byron had driven slow enough and he needed to go visit the wall. We'll let you listen to William Byron talking about his feelings for Joey Logano. We'll get out to more of your opinions on the Love Chevy phone lines. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The Extra Point.
With Pearson, Preston, and Gamecock Central.
9 a.m. to noon.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Should turn my mic on if I'm going to do a commercial, shouldn't I? That seems to help typically if you turn your mic on. Normally, I'm ready to go. Last night was a little different. Look, even with an earthquake, I still got a great night of sleep. That's the great thing about a sleep number bed. Even with an earthquake happening, you still get an absolutely fantastic night of sleep. Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because every great day starts the night before, even when there's an earthquake at 1:30 a.m. That Sleep Number setting I'd put on 45, slept almost right through that thing. I did wake up for a few minutes, but I didn't experience it quite like everybody else did. You can go ahead and find out what a Sleep Number bed is like with the weekend special. Save $500 on the Sleep Number 360C4 Smart Bed Queen, now only $1,299, the lowest price ever. Plus, special financing, subject to credit approval, minimum monthly payments required. See sleepnumber.com for details. But this deal ends today, May the 9th, so you need to get to a Sleep Number store. 2 to choose from, one in Irmo on Harbison Boulevard across from Buffalo Wild Wings, the other in Columbia, 2 Knots Road across from Sand Hills Mall. You can visit them on the web, sleepnumber.com. Right now, don't miss Sleep Number's weekend special. Save $500 on the Sleep Number 360C4 Smart Bed Queen, now only $1,299. It's the lowest priced ever, and there's special financing. Make the switch to Sleep Number today and find out what a great night of sleep is truly like.
107.5 107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
And out on the highways right now, we're looking at an accident, I-77 southbound, right there over the Congaree River, there at the Alexander's Bridge. Again, that's I-77 southbound at mile marker 4. And it looks like we do have a report of an accident, I-26 eastbound. If you're headed towards Orangeburg, mile marker 159, there is a tie-up there as well. And assisting a motorist, I-126 outbound, coming out of downtown on I-126. Right there at Hugie, the right lane is blocked, assisting a motorist, so just be cautious there. Nice forecast on tap. We should see the sun for a few days, and that is very welcome. 75 for the high today. We should hit 80 by Wednesday. Right now, though, it's breezy, 52 at 107.5 The Game.
This is Boomer Science with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Athletic Greens. One scoop of AG1 has 75 multivitamins to help you start your day off right. Go to athleticgreens.com/CBSAM. Golf obsessives loved Max Homa's podcast, Get a Grip, that featured brutally honest negative self-assessments. Since ditching the show last fall, Homa's won twice. I'm Boomer Science.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter
What you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Morning. Hope you're doing well. I'm not sure Bosnick will be back. I need to ask Whittle that because I feel like Bosnick is not coming back, Craig. I feel like that Bosnick will be out. Donnie Rail, okay, 90 to 1.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. Sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and
So,
conditions
yep,
apply.
we got.
Voters Towing knows that as a business owner, the last thing you want is to have your customers go somewhere else because they couldn't find a convenient.
I'm not sure what I just hit. I must have hit that. Hit the little button.
Decided to park in one of your spots. Schroders offers free signage to deter unwanted parking. Once they see that,
Hope if they win the next, so hypothetically that's 4 wins, 2 losses. Obviously, you got to win the midweek games. Those are USC Upstate and Charlotte. So that'd be 6-2 to finish. 30-24, 14-16 in conference. You know, we'll ask John Whittle, but what Whittle said last week was not really. It doesn't feel like John is. I don't think Whittle's very positive on the team. The RPI is not quite as good because of the away losses. You got to win some on the road, and they haven't been able to do that. Yeah, it is strange how Florida's fallen off too. Yeah, Craig. That's kind of the point. The RPI is actually not as good as people thought.
RAMP.com/sports. It's a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews. You've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast. Kevin O'Connell, the new head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Is this the longest interviewer has gone with you without bringing up the Sean McVay?
It's about 10 minutes longer than anyone else has gone. You get the credit for that, but couldn't say anything but wonderful things about him as a leader over the last couple of years.
I was just looking here to see Kentucky. That actually was a pretty big upset there this weekend, taking 2 of 3 from Tennessee.
Things look bleak for the top 10, 20-3 Gamecock baseball team as they trailed Tennessee 9-6 in the bottom of the ninth to Founders Park. But Carolina did have the bases loaded, and they also had future major leaguer Grayson Griner at the plate. Here's Andy DeMetriou.
The one. Hagen tag! Deep to left! Get up and get out of here! A walk-off grand slam by Grayson Griner. Griner has gone grand, and the Gamecocks win it 9-6. And let the mob scene begin at home plate.
And that's our old-timey clip of the day, sponsored by Old Timey Meat Market, with 3 locations, Lexington, South Congaree, and St. Andrews Road in Irma.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by, shop online today, and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
The early game.
Patrick Perez and Jen Jensen.
Your home of the Gamecocks.
The early game, 1075
The game.
7:23 on a Monday morning, May the 9th. Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen, Patrick Pratt out today. He will be back tomorrow, and we will get you through the rest of the week. We have a busy week. Well, as we now kind of remove ourselves from spring, we completely become removed from spring practice. I'll start getting in touch with some of the people that we had on during football season to now start kind of looking ahead to SEC Media Day. People like David Waters from Gator Breakdown. We'll catch up with Wes Rucker from Tennessee, Brian Matthews from Auburn, catch up with someone from Georgia. But we'll kind of now look ahead as the transfer portal finally closing on May the 1st. You can start to kind of, I guess, feel better about your roster and how everything is shaking out with who you will have on your team in 2022. So we'll get into some college football discussion, obviously, as we move forward. We'll also talk some basketball. South Carolina, John Whittle will be in here in about 35 minutes. I probably should text him just to make sure he is up and moving around and heading this way. But it's going to be interesting because I count me as one who's a little surprised that we have not seen more movement from Lamont Paris and his staff as it pertains to the transfer portal. We have Ebo, the transfer from Coastal Carolina, the 6'6" kind of point guard wing player, and talking with people, I think he's better suited to play the point guard role than he is the wing at the SEC level. Michi Johnson, who will come in from Ohio State, looking to resurrect his career, being formerly a very high 4-star recruit that didn't pan out at Ohio State, and Hayden Brown, who was very good at the Citadel this past year. So you've got those 3 guys, the scholarship guys that are coming in, but South Carolina still needing to fill out more of their roster as it pertains to the transfer portal. And obviously Zachary Davis, who just moved up in the Own 3 rankings for the 2022 recruiting class. And you've got Daniel Hankins Sanford. So 5 newcomers right now set to come into the program. Still room for 3 more there as it works for scholarship positions. So we'll talk with John Whittle coming up in just a little while about that. We have been talking a lot of baseball this morning. South Carolina dropping 2 of 3 to Texas A&M. That's not the surprising thing. I would have been surprised if they won the series in College Station. The surprising portion of the weekend was losing the 9-0 game, losing the 9-0 lead through 4 innings on Saturday. That's the one where you look at it and you go, yeah, that can't happen. Again, if South Carolina had lost that game 13-12, but the run differential had never been greater than 3 in that game, and you think, okay, they just outscored us. They're a top 15 team. It's on the road. We know the pitching has got injuries. Okay, I get it. You don't get it when it's a 9-0 loss in the manner that South Carolina did. A man who has gotten it for a few weeks and is probably still getting it out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Gamecock Larry wanting to weigh in this morning. Larry, how you doing? 803-404-6100. That's a man who is very fired up right there, and I'm sure he will continue to be fired up. We'll continue taking your thoughts, your calls, your opinions. We'll see if John Whittle has remembered that we have him scheduled to be in studio from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. this morning, and we've got to continue breaking down the wheel of agony. Guess who gets to spin it first? That's right. Old Jen Jensen. So we will Yeah, we're breaking it. We got to get that thing lined up. We got, what do we said? We got 12 punishments selections on there. Yeah, something, we'll have to figure that out, because that's like, what is it? You spin that and we spin it and it lands on that and you lose, and that's the punishment. That doesn't work out well. Okay, got it. All right. Okay, fair enough. We'll continue talking about that. We'll get more into the weekend it was. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Is omnipresent and free of charge. In your car, online, on the app, and streaming on your smart speaker. 107.5 The Game. 107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center. Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com.
Taking a look at the traffic conditions out there. Still just one accident to report. I-77 southbound there at the Alexander Bridge. That is mile marker 4. And other than that, things moved along okay. We actually do have another report of that accident. I-26 eastbound there at mile marker 160 if you're headed towards Carlton. Just be aware of that area. Forecast looking good. Sunny skies for the next few days. 75 today, 79 tomorrow, and 80 on Wednesday. But it's kind of windy out there right now. We're showing 50 at 107.5 The Game.
And now an update on what some analysts and reporters are calling.
Sorry, Hope. Think I had sorry guys. Think I had well, I don't think. I know I had I had that taken out.
It's a free app for cashback on gas, groceries, and at restaurants. Can an app like Upside really make a difference?
Let's just say that Gamecock Larry was confused, not happy. I got to remember to
Arrow, Phillips 66, Circle K, etc. And at favorite local grocers and restaurants. Everyone's got to drive and eat, right? If you want to get in on this life hack, we have a promo code for you. Head to the App Store or Google Play and download Upside.
Oh, Jen must have taken that out of program 3. No wonder. All right, we'll fix that in a minute.
Just download free Upside app and use code GROW.
Hey, if you've got a hole in your roof or you need a whole new roof, you need to call Mid-State Roofing, 356-1919. For nearly a quarter of a century, Mid-State Roofing has established its reputation as the leader in the roofing industry. Whether it's above your head or at your feet, perhaps a leaky foundation, 356-1919 is the number to call for all your roofing and roofing needs. The quality and craftsmanship of a Mid-State roofing system are tops in the industry.
It was working.
If you own or you're in charge of a large building, warehouse, or industrial facility, then
charge of that roof. And at some point, a roof is going to need some attention. So the number to call for advice, service, results, and a commitment to customer satisfaction is 356-1919. See all the Mid-State has to offer when you click on midstateroofing.com. Tell them, Mid-State Twins.
If you have a leak, let Mid-State Roofing take a peek.
356-1919. MidStateRoofing.com.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we've seen how terrible accidents turn lives upside down, and we're proud to be the lawyers our clients depend on during their toughest moments. I'm Jason Reynolds. Call me when your family is faced with any serious.
You guys, you've been talking not through 3, but just through the
just doing it like that. Yeah, I don't know. It might have just been because you can see it pulsing, and it wasn't pulsing.
Samuels Reynolds, true injury.
And so, but when I just kind of like fiddled with the little thing, all of a sudden, so I don't know if maybe there's a short or maybe somehow it just kind of, I don't know. It's fine.
Okay.
Now it's working.
Because when I saw that, people said they couldn't hear the call, I'm like, he's in 3. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna check with Chris and the see if she has scissors. I mean, I'm kind of doing this, but if I could, but
yeah, I'm with you. Okay.
to beat any written offer by $500. That's right. We'll beat any written offer by $500. Visit Herndon Chevrolet today. Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you want to smile. Smile. Delivery 63592. More details.
Okay, let's start unloading the sod over here. The grass is always greener when Haruka's Lawn Care does the mowing. They need a new landscaping designer to keep their budding business growing.
Do we double check the ink line here? This one needs to drain.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these small business month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at
All right. One more for the Wheel of Agony. What about a listener's choice? Listener's choice. Or a live stream choice. I like that. We've got a good community. Instead of listener, we will do a live stream choice. That way y'all on the live stream can pick a punishment. Or, kind of work together a live streamer's choice. I think that's a good one that the live streamers can get together. What do you think about that, Jen? Live streamer's choice. Oh yeah, scissors.
7:35 on a Monday morning. Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. Jen has acquired scissors. Jen, I think we've got 12. We need 4. We need 2 more. We need
I think
2.
you were correct.
We need 2 more. What about a live streamer's choice?
Ah.
RL says, "Oh yeah," and then does the rubbing his hands together.
Again, we aren't Fear Factor contestants now that we remember.
Well, there
the name
would
of the
be
show,
an element of what I would think is that you could go to the live stream and offer your suggestion, and we could pick 4 and put it to a vote. We could
There you go.
pick 4 and put it to a vote, make it more. Look, summertime's coming up. We're only going to be able to get so much content. Bottom line, I think we all know baseball, South Carolina baseball.
Gotta teach you how to drive a stick.
Well, no, that's not good for anybody as well.
Oh, it is. Because at least it would be entertaining. I mean, it couldn't, may or may not. Well, we could do it while we're driving, but then we could also be videoing. I think that would be fun. Come on, fans, right?
Sounds like just entertainment for
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah, because I'm also pretty sure that doing a live stream while trying to learn how to drive a vehicle is
Hello.
probably illegal.
Yeah,
So
not if I'm holding the camera.
frowned upon. So we'll do we got this. That I like that live stream choice. You got a Brian Glenn pizza. You got a winner's choice. You got a loser's choice, and a live stream choice. That'll get us to 13 there. And we will find one more. If you want to weigh in this morning, you can send that in as well on one of our punishments, our for the Wheel of Agony that Jen will be the first time spinner tomorrow morning on that. Look forward to that. You can catch that we will do that on the live stream, where you can go to youtube.com, search 1075 The Game, click and subscribe to our YouTube page. And every morning you can hop on to our YouTube page, just like Stephen, Anthony, RL, Travis, Craig, Adam, all in there right now, kind of debating. And again, you go to the YouTube page, and it's kind of its own little community there. They're kind of weighing in and discussing some of the things as it pertains to Mark Kingston and the South Carolina baseball program. And certainly this morning, we've talked a little bit about that. We've talked about what is going on, or what happened down at the Goodyear 400 yesterday down in Darlington. Certainly a fun day of racing down there. Jen and Patrick were both down there. Joey Logano takes home the checkered flag, maybe controversially doing it, knocking William Byron out of the way there at the very end. And we'll get you that audio from William Byron as well after the race. In the television interview, he was none too pleased about the way that kind of went down. And then, of course, the Kentucky Derby over the weekend. Rich Strike, an 81-1. I don't know, it's a favorite, not a favorite when you're 81-1 in the odds. The way that Rich Strike won it also if you didn't see it, coming from the back of the pack, blowing past the two favorites, Epicenter and Zandon. Absolutely incredible Kentucky Derby race. So all in all, a pretty fun weekend. If you want to weigh in on anything you saw, heard, thought about, 803-404-6100. That's how you can do so this morning. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Jen, Joey wants to weigh in. Joey, how you doing this morning? What's on your mind?
I want to ride on the coattails of Gamecock Larry a little bit. I agree with everything Gamecock Larry said. He's got a few more years than I do. I've only been around 49. But Kingston needs to go. And I'm getting ready to make some Gamecock fans mad, probably. The greatest baseball coach in the history of Carolina baseball. He needs to go as athletic director. If he wants to stay around and coach baseball, he can come back and coach baseball, but he needs to go as athletic director. And he take the pitching coach Parker with him.
I'm not going to blame. You said take Parker with him, Justin Parker, the new.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not. 1 year and honestly, Joey, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm some kind of baseball expert guru when it comes down to breaking down pitching mechanics and
I'm
everything.
not either.
And so I don't know if I blame him. There is an element, the injuries, but I also think that it seems like there has been an element to injuries for really, honestly, South Carolina athletics as a whole, but for baseball with Tommy John surgeries over the last 4 or 5 years. And I don't know if that's something with training. I don't know if that's something with how these guys are being used, in high school and travel ball. It does seem strange to me. Austin, my son, is 10. He doesn't play baseball, but I do have a lot of friends whose kids are involved in that travel ball. And I'm with you, but I don't know if I necessarily blame Justin Parker for this. I don't know what makes him much different than Skylar Meade or a Mark Calvey, or that gets a little bit too intricate where, maybe we can get Brian Jeffcoat on this week or even a Kip Bulknight to kind of break down the pitching mechanics and let them kind of explain what they're seeing.
Well, the athletic director ought to look into all that and figure out what's causing it. And here's my biggest thing with Parker. Is Parker not a coach? And if he's a coach, how come he can't pull somebody and let them walk runs in, and then the next batter get a grand slam? I mean, that's 4 out of 9 or nothing. No, that's 5 walk run and runs and a grand slam.
Yeah, no, I understand.
That's 5 out of 9.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I appreciate the phone call this morning, and certainly there is a lot of reason for people to be upset about what they saw. And again, to lose the 9-0 lead, I think is what stands out the most. 803-404-6100 is how you can weigh in this morning. Appreciate Joey with the phone call there. Appreciate a lot of you weighing in this morning to offer offer opinions. Anonymous texter says the injury discussion reminds me of the Muschamp era. Albert weighing in also on the text line. Time for a coaching change in baseball. This is inexcusable for a program with our tradition. So a lot of you weighing in. Appreciate the input this morning. Certainly want to let you be heard. Again, coming up maybe in 20 minutes, maybe not. John Whittle has not responded to my text message. We are now on John Whittle watch this morning. I believe he is still laying in bed. Of course, understandable. Getting up early to do a radio show, not always the most fun thing to do. But we do appreciate you waking up to listen to us each and every morning. It's Bill Gunners, Jen Jensen, Patrick with the day off. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up on the next Game Time.
Hey, it's Heath. On a Monday, we will look back at the events of the weekend, but we got a lot to look forward to as well. Jamie Chadwell, Coastal coach, joins us at 3:15. What exactly is it like coming out of spring football and having to worry about people possibly trying to poach your players? Plus, we'll hear from Mark Passwaters on Texas A&M. We'll see you at 3.
Game Time with Heath Klein.
3 to 6 p.m.
on your home.
Boy, we're just all the programs. Cyber, and I think I saw that when the I have seen 81-1. I definitely saw 81-1. That was the last time I looked at it on Saturday. That was probably around 6:15, 6:30-ish before the race. But I saw where somebody said that he was 80 by the time they closed the books, I guess, at the track. He was 84-1. So it had gone up just a smidge because I think one of them, was it Taba? Taba dropped to like 3-1 or 5-1 right before the race too. A lot of people thought that horse would be the one that won. Oh, man. Let's see here. Yeah, that was very interesting as I was watching the odds, kind of on Saturday, move around a little bit. Obviously, Rich Strike. The only reason I've noticed his is because just going all the way through and cutting up. Of course, now we shouldn't have been cutting up, but discussing like putting $10 down on Rich Strike and then everybody agreeing, well, that's just a waste of $10. We could use that for 2 drinks at the bar or something. That's what you get. So, but it was funny how that kind of all played out.
The grass is always greener when Lucas Lawn Care does the mowing. They needed a landscaping designer to keep their budding business growing. Can we double check the info here? Indeed can help them hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of pay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the
Oh, we've heard from Whittle.
The smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game with Bill Goodyear and Patrick Barrett is just your home of the Gamecocks. The early game. 1075 The Game.
803-404-6100. John Whittle will be joining us in the next hour. We will talk baseball with him. We'll get his thoughts and opinions, obviously, the season, the future, kind of where he sees it going. We'll also talk a little basketball with him. And the BigSpur.com has a golf tournament coming up at Charwood on May the 23rd. You can go and play in that. We'll tell you how to sign up and register. Rock Lucas, our good buddy who's taken care of us so many times out at Charwood, will be hosting the guys from the BigSpur.com on May the 23rd out there, and you can go and sign up, and we'll tell you about that as well coming up in the next hours. John Whittle will step in studio with us. He'll fill the void that Patrick Perrett is left this morning. As Patrick, Jen, how was the jambalaya? Did they have leftover jambalaya for you? Did they completely forget about you in that stance, or did you? I'm interested to hear this. I was going to say, rookie mistake. Absolute rookie mistake by the Parettes this weekend running out of the cold beverages. Yeah. They could have figured something out. Yeah. Yeah, that was tough. What do you think about the comment by Chase on the Buford Lending live stream? Joey Logano had the fastest car all day yesterday. Every other fast car wrecked out before the end of the race. Your thoughts on that? Eight zero 6100 if you want to weigh in on the Goodyear 400, if you want to weigh in on the Kentucky Derby, or if you want to weigh in on South Carolina baseball. They dropped 2 of 3 this past weekend to Texas A&M. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Austin is up next on the phone line. Austin, how you doing this morning? What's on your mind? Good.
You'll see a lot of kids out here, especially 90, man, throwing over 100 pitches a weekend. They're 8, 9 years old, man. You're tearing their arm up. So when they get in college, at 15, 16, they're up there throwing 120 pitches a weekend, or some of them in a game and a half. And but I do agree with Joey, man. And as a coach, as an athletic director, you got a lot of kids hurt, a lot of Tommy Johns, a lot of injuries. You got to start looking and see, is our trainers doing what they're supposed to be doing? Are they stretching like they're supposed to be? You got to start looking as a coach and as a head person of athletics. Why is all these kids starting to get hurt? I mean, you're messing them up, man. You can't just say, oh, he's got Tommy John. Oh, he's got this. No, you got to find the reason why this is happening so much. I mean, it's just like even in younger ball, I don't allow my kids to throw any more than 55 pitches a weekend. If I do, there's a big problem. You got to take care of the kids so they can take care of you. If you don't, they're not going to be able to take care of you.
Yeah, Austin, I appreciate the phone call. Look, I'm with you on that. I don't. I've talked with guys about this, and I'm gonna reach out. We'll reach out to Kip Balknight this week, who obviously is very smart and understands this and has younger kids playing travel ball, and I think that there's something to be said for what you're talking about. Again, the reason to kind of bring it up is Joey in the previous call was talking about Justin Parker, the pitching coach, and South Carolina has had injuries. We'll talk with John Whittle in the next hour about that and maybe how different things might be if some of these guys were a little healthy. There have been a lot of blown leads, obviously, this year. I think it's Rodney who said there's nothing surprising about the way we blew a 9-0 lead. The bullpen has been doing it all year, and even Tommy Moody said on air that nobody in the stadium expected 9 runs to hold up. In Tommy, I did hear Tommy talking about that on Saturday when I was coming back after picking up some Mother's Day presents and cards and all the goodies there that were given out yesterday. But he made the comment. It was the second inning. South Carolina had at that point gotten, I think they were up 7 or 8-0, whatever, and the bases were loaded. And Tommy was making the comment, we got to continue scoring. We got to continue scoring because Texas A&M is a really good hitting team, and they can put runs on the board in a hurry. And obviously we saw that. Coaching has got to be better. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like everything else in life. You got to win ball games. Frank Martin won ball games, but he was fired because he didn't get to the postseason. I mean, that was just the reason that went down. Frank Martin had the most successful run of any South Carolina basketball coach dating back to the Frank McGuire era, but he didn't get to the postseason. He didn't win enough. He lost games that he should have won. Princeton and Coastal Carolina and Stony Brook and Boston and Stat. You get the point. And at the end of it, injuries or no injuries, Will Muschamp might have been a really good coach. There was a lot of injuries, and it caused a lot of losses that shouldn't have occurred. I think back to Appalachian State here at the end of, what was that, 2019. So, the end of the day, injuries play a part of it. Things happen. Everything kind of goes on, but you've got to find a way to win. And when you're up 9-0 and you got a chance with your best pitcher going to the mound the following day, you've got to be able to close that thing out. And you got to coach. You got to find it. You got to push the right buttons with the right players. And South Carolina not able to do that this weekend, and they fall on Friday, Saturday. Obviously, the Friday night game 16-4, Saturday 13-12. They do bounce back and win the Sunday game 9-4. We'll continue talking about that. John Whittle in the next hour. I see a couple of you weighing in on the pitching and the injuries and things. And yeah, I don't think it's all South Carolina and Justin Parker. There's a lot to it there with the way travel ball is played these days and the amount of use the kids have with their arms. So certainly very, very interesting and a more of a summer sports time discussion that we will get into at some point as we go through. The other thing we'll get into this summer, the Wheel of Agony, Wager Wednesday. Jen is in there. It's like a crafts project I'm looking up. She is in there right now carving up the punishments to go on the wheel, doing a little craft project, doing a very good job, by the way. And we will spin the Wheel of Agony tomorrow. I say we, like I'll be a part of it. Jen will spin the Wheel of Agony. We have 13 of the 14 punishments. We have added now a live stream choice to go along with your nails being painted, intern for a day. There's going to be 2 spots where the loser will get to pick their punishment. So that'll kind of help out a little bit. Brian Glenn has wanted to weigh in with the Village Idiot. He wants a chance at redemption to make a better pizza than the last time he did. There will be 1 free pass spot where the loser can basically get out of jail. There is a musical instrument that will have to be played walking up and down Gervais Street just outside of the studios here. So Jen has a flute. We've also talked about a kazoo or something. A spray tan can be a punishment. That would be maybe not a punishment. I don't know. It depends. I don't know how much Jen goes out and tans. Patrick doesn't tan at all, so he might actually like
no,
that
I don't
too.
do that.
Patrick also might look very funny with a spray tan. Patrick doesn't look like the kind of guy who needs to be any darker. Like that Perrette background. I mean, the man is terrified of the sun as it is. My favorite one is karaoke out here on the street behind us here on Gervais
we were
Street.
going to do my fitness place.
You want to add that one? That could be our final one. A
Be it bar
workout with Jen. Okay. All right. Add it up. That gives us to 14 now. We're good.
Loving it.
There you go. Workout at the bar 3 with Jen. So there you go. So we've got that. And then these 2 goons, Jen and Patrick, there's going to be a winner's choice on there where the winner gets to pick the punishment for one of the 2 losers. And they want to add on there, and it'll be kind of be like a secret item on the menu, where I have to step in and produce and run the board because apparently Jen and Patrick want the day off, and they realize that with me running the board, the whole place is liable to burn down and the station could come to an abrupt end.
Oh, we would still be here because we know that it would be a case where you would be, we know it would be a case where you would not handle it well, and we would probably be off the air. So we would have to be here and monitoring things. For sure.
Somebody be in there. A couple of you weighing in on the pitching thing. Greg saying there's a correlation between overuse and specialization of kids, the amount of injuries we're seeing across the board. Another alarming issue is the amount of kids throwing curveballs at an earlier age. Anonymous texter weighing in. The reason is overuse even before the kids get to college. It's a problem across college baseball. Wasn't that way about 10 years back. And another anonymous texter says, stop throwing the heavy ball.
But aren't other teams, they're not encountering this? And then
I'm not going to. John Whittle's out there in the bullpen, so to speak, and I will get his take on other injuries across baseball. And if it's great, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I've paid enough attention to Georgia's pitching staff or Florida's pitching staff or so forth or so on. John Whittle will join us for the full hour, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We'll talk baseball, basketball, Big Spur golf tournament as well. Plenty to get to. It's the early game. 107.5 The Game.
Gamecocks, Braves, the NFL
with live local radio.
107.5 The Game.
You are
WNKT
100% right,
Eastover,
Arnold.
Columbia.
A Cumulus media station.
Hi, everybody. This is Freddie Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service, Guy Gant's company.
Well, go on a cussing tangent. You're now.
Or, get your
What, Jen?
Back to the Future 121 gigawatts. Oh!
That's right. Yes. All right. So we're good. You got everything now that you need?
I think so.
Okay.
It ain't gonna be pretty, but it'll be effective.
That's all we're looking for.
That's pretty much what Morning Show with Bill is. It's not pretty, but it's effective. All right, so let me print those. On board.
Or find us online at pioneertreesc.com.
If you have tax problems and want to end the frustration of dealing with the IRS, grab a pen and take down this number. Hi, I'm local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm, located right here in the Midlands. It takes to solve your tax problems once and for all. The first step, which can be one of the hardest, is to take action. Do something. Call me, set an appointment, and meet with me in person. The first step is completely free and confidential. And
Sitting on the live stream,
control
nice.
the problem.
Boogie hanging out.
That's a big fear, huh?
That or I stand up and the zipper's down, one of the two.
That's the best.
Yeah, go use what have you got? Yep, use that one over there. And then you use
Go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com.
wait a minute, which one? No, use that one right there.
Oh.
I'm going. We'll turn the camera around here.
No, we don't need to see these.
So there you go. So now we got. Oh, actually, probably be easier to bring the knuckleball back. Okay, that would certainly maybe help with lack of injuries. All right. Oh, no, I'm not in the picture. Oh, okay. Now we're kind of buzzing. That makes sense to slide down.
Tragedy.
For all of the early stream groupies, it is. Totally agree. So you'll use that mic that's to your right. There you go. Yeah, those come in handy when doing a radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. It's truck month, and that means the biggest savings of the year.
People are not happy.
None of the price hiking add-ons.
About baseball.
What are we upset about already?
Just baseball in general.
Oh, baseball.
Pitching, yeah. All right.
49 minutes too good.
We do not agree.
Absolutely.
With Bill Gunter, Patrick Perret, and Jen Jensen.
Somebody on the live stream said that I'm just being a jerk to Jen and I'm hazing her. So
And the thing is, I appreciate, she must not listen to the show that often, and I do appreciate that. He's a jerk all the time. So it's not like this is new.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
it's odd how winners get classified as jerks. I am with you.
Oh my God. You can't stop yourself.
I am. It is strange how that happens.
107.5 The Game.
8:02 on a Monday morning. Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen, and now John Whittle filling in for Patrick Perret, who is probably still laid up somewhere in the grass down in Darlington, full of jambalaya. Not so much on beer, because he did put out a tweet yesterday that they were willing to trade jambalaya for cold beers. First trip to Darlington for the Perret family, and they weren't ready. They were apparently just not ready for the tailgate for the full 2 days. I think technically his parents, Jen, arrived on Friday down in Darlington with the RV. They were in the infield, so to speak. They had the Washington Redskin tent up. I saw a pretty good setup. I wanted to see the picture that went with the visual of Patrick arriving to Darlington to the infield Saturday morning, TV under one arm, cooler in the other hand, just marching through the infield, just ready to go, ready to tailgate at anybody's spot. I never saw the picture. Everybody let us down. Nobody got out there and took pictures.
That could have been very fun.
It really could have been. That would have been, just people just lined up out there as Patrick made his way into the infield at Darlington. Again, TV, cooler backpack of just some underwear, I hope, and ready to go. So if you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100. That's how you can be a part of the program. You can also jump on the Buford Lending live stream. A couple of you weighing in there as well. Some of you weighing in on the pitching for South Carolina, certainly. Anonymous texter says, let's not just blame summer and travel ball. All these kids, when in college, play wood bat leagues after the college baseball season, so there's no real break for pitchers or position players. Another anonymous texter weighing in on baseball this morning, saying we were one strike away from winning Saturday's game, 2 outs and an 0-2 count on a 200 hitter, and we throw 4 straight balls. Next guy goes yard with a walk-off. Tough way to lose. And then Trey, just not happy. Joey Logano is a scrub and stole the race. Changed my mind. Jen, can you change his mind? Jen, where do you stand on Joey Logano?
I'm not a fan.
Okay.
So
there you go, Trey.
even
She's
though-
not even going to try and change your mind.
No, even though this is kind of a typical racing maneuver, I just think he's kind of my best line to keep me from saying any obscenity on there. He's a pork chop.
There you go.
That's fine.
There you go, Whittle. Whittle, it was a busy weekend, a lot of baseball, but did you watch any Kentucky Derby, any Goodyear 400?
No, on the 400. I watched a little bit of the pre-race show.
Okay.
I mean, it was about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours beforehand, and I caught about 5 minutes, and they were mainly talking about hats.
Yeah,
but
I did
other than
actually see
that,
it.
no, I missed a little bit of that too.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the hat segment is good. I will say the Kentucky Derby pre-show is only rivaled by the Super Bowl pre-show. I did not realize how long the pre-show for the Kentucky Derby, like I've just in years past, Saturday turned into a weird day. It was windy on the lake. It was kind of overcast. Never really got outside. And so, I was sitting there in front of the TV. I was like, man, they really, really hype this Kentucky Derby. Like at least the Super Bowl, you've got 7 hours of pregame that leads to a 3.5 hour, 4 hour game. And like 7 hours of Kentucky Derby pregame for about a minute and a half of fun and excitement.
Well, that's a very exciting couple of minutes. Though,
it was a thrilling. It was, and it was a rich strike.
How much did they break down the rich strike?
I don't think he got mentioned. I don't think he got mentioned at all over the course of the pregame there.
See, next year they'll need 10 hours in.
No, next year will be fully devoted to biggest long shots and telling you how to wager in and get your money in. So you unfortunately you were not in Texas you were not in College Station. You weren't at Texas A&M. That might have been a good thing this weekend, but you unfortunately were fully invested in covering the baseball team. Let's just get your thoughts on the weekend. I'm going to ask you several questions over the next hour here, but also want to talk about the BigSpur.com's golf tournament coming up May 23rd. So we got a lot we got to get into here. So your thoughts on the weekend that was. A lot of people this morning weighing in, talking about the pitching and the injuries and blowing the 9-run lead. But overall, your thoughts on the weekend that was for South Carolina.
It's tough. That Saturday game obviously stands out. The thing to me is even with that big early run production, those 9 runs there, you've got to keep adding to that total, because the longer you sit there on that 9 number, the more confidence it gives to their hitters that they've got a chance to come back, when they can kind of chip away at that lead. And then all of a sudden it's not 9 anymore. You get a big home run, big grand slam, and the game's back within reaching distance. And there's momentum on their side, and your offense obviously isn't doing quite enough to score anymore. So, it's great to get out to a big early lead, but you got to keep kind of adding to it a little bit to kill their spirits a little bit and think that, and make them think that they don't have a chance to come back. And, when you're not scoring any runs, you're not getting any guys on base after that big inning, and you're still a little bit vulnerable because of what you have in the bullpen. And, South Carolina's got 2 guys right now that they really feel good about. And, both of those guys had full rest, but, Noah Hall, that was his shortest outing in a long time for him, not able to get out of that 5th inning. And you just had to extend guys a little bit too much. And, they're a very good hitting team. They've been very hot offensively. And, that just wasn't that lead just wasn't enough, especially with the wind blowing out like it was and momentum on their side.
6 conference games left, 2 non-conference midweek games, so 8 left, 24 and 22 on the season, I believe is where they're at, 10 and 14 in conference. How do you assess what is possible for the next 8 games? I mean, I think we, Patrick and I in this station and everybody want to continue to promote, say, hey, NCAA tournament, it's like, how realistic is it right now, given the RPI? You kind of brought to our attention, I think it was last week, maybe the week prior, about there are some significant problems with the RPI because you're not winning on the road. What is realistic with 8 games left and potentially the SEC tournament?
Jen, do you have the clip of Kevin Garnett screaming anything is possible after winning the championship out there? Can you play that? No, it's I don't think it's completely out of the question to make the NCAA tournament, but it's going to be a real challenge just because of where you stand in the RPI, like we talked about there. After this weekend, they're 65th, and so they dropped a spot in the RPI after going 1-2 against the Aggies. And you've got to be in that top 40 to feel reasonably good about your chances. And I just don't know that they can get there. They can't drop either of these midweek games because those aren't going to be particularly good RPI losses. Kentucky's moved up a little bit after what they did this weekend, defeating Tennessee, and Florida's in the top 20. So I mean, you still have some opportunities to move that up a little bit, but Mark Kingston's talked about it. We've talked about it a lot. Typically 13 and 17 or at least 14 and 16 gets you into the NCAA tournament in the SEC. If that's your league mark, 13 and 17's gotten a lot of teams in. I just don't see that working, especially at 13 and 17 this year for South Carolina because of where the RPI is. 14 and 16, I think, is a stretch. I think if you get to 15 and 15, you feel reasonably good going into the SEC tournament about making it into the NCAAs. But you got to go 5-1 to get to 15 and 15 over these next 6.
What is the biggest injury to the pitching staff? If John Whittle could get one guy back and put him on that staff, that maybe whether it's a starter, maybe it's a utility guy that can start, but also maybe come in for long relief. You pinpoint one guy on that staff that you wish maybe could have altered, because there have been some games where the lead was blown late. I'm thinking Clemson instantly. I think Georgia. I think there was a game Auburn, Missouri, I think, and these are all games in the 8th, 9th inning. So I don't know if it's a starter, if it's a closer, but if you took one guy and you said, all right, we get that guy back from injury, maybe he alters 3, 4, 5 games, who would that be?
For me, it would be a toss-up between Julian Bosnick and Jack Mahoney. Bosnick, you thought you were going to get back to begin with. So that one's was maybe a little bit more crushing. Jack Mahoney's elbow injury happened towards the end of last year. So you knew you weren't going to have him this year. You had time to prepare for him, but with Julian, you thought he'd be back probably no more than a month into the season, and he's going to miss the whole year. But he's a top 50, top 75 overall kind of draft guy. So anytime you can get a top 2 rounder in there is phenomenal. He was good in relief last year and has been okay as a starter. Walked a few too many at times last year, but that is hard to take away that talent. But Jack Mahoney's was really good last year too, and he's got the makings of a weekend starter or top flight closer, depending on what you want to do with him next year. So one of those 2 guys for sure. Both of them have a little bit of versatility and in terms of being a reliever or starting pitcher, I'd probably lean towards Julian, but Jack's right there.
We'll keep talking with John Whittle. He'll be here for the full hour. We'll talk about the Big Spur Golf Tournament as well. You can sign up and register for that May 23rd out at Charwood Golf Club with our good buddy Rock Lucas, who does a great job. Looking forward to our tournament out there with them. Kicking off the college football season in August, but coming up, what is today? 2 weeks from today, Whittle? Was that? Yeah, 2 weeks from today. Math, not a strong suit here. 2 weeks from today. We'll talk about that and how you can get registered and go and hang out with the bigspur.com guys and what that tournament's for. It's for a great foundation that I want you to talk about this morning, and it pertains to baseball as well. So we'll talk about that. We'll get into plenty this morning over the final 45 minutes. It's Bill Gunner, John Whittle now filling in for Patrick Perrette, who, again, maybe he's still just roaming the lots with a canister of jambalaya, trying to auction it off
Beer,
for 3. Yeah, just going around. Just anybody for 2 beers for a thing of jambalaya. We'll see. We'll catch up with Patrick. He'll be back in studio tomorrow. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up
on the next halftime show.
Hey guys, Jay and Terry coming up on the Monday halftime show. There will be no Terry. What do you just?
I will not be here.
Taking a day off?
Yeah, I'm slacking.
Yeah.
We're Kentucky Derby.
You know,
Oh, so you'll be hungover.
oh yeah, I'm a party guy.
Either that or I figure you're heading to Baltimore to work on the Preakness pre-race.
Yes, the pre-race,
There you
because
go.
I'm part of the pre-race committee for the
there-
Preakness in Baltimore.
There you go. And nothing nefarious to see here.
No,
That would
it's
never
nothing like
happen.
The Wire.
Yes.
Nothing like
that
The
would,
Wire.
That would never happen. We will, though, in all seriousness, recap the Gamecock baseball series against Texas A&M, Braves and Brewers on Hank Aaron weekend. We'll discuss some of those things for you. And I imagine something else brand new about NIL will be out there in one form or another. We'll get into all that and more.
The Halftime Show with Jay, Terry, and Tommy.
Noon to 3.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
The weather today a little funky, but the warm weather is coming, and you're going to be ready to get out and maybe throw the football around at the beach, maybe play a little pickup baseball, maybe get into the yard, shoot some hoops. Whatever it is, you're going to want to get back to living the life you used to have. And if you've got joint pain, you got a problem with your knees, with your shoulders, with your back, with your neck, your toes, just all those pain in the joints, and it's really slowing you down, it's time to call QC Kinetics. Powerful, effective joint pain treatments with natural biologics are here. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 803-281-6860. It's a Monday morning. You probably got up. You're feeling a little sore. Maybe you're dreading the rest of the week because you got pain in your elbows or in your shoulders, and you're tired. You're tired of taking steroids. You're tired of taking pain pills. You're thinking surgery is your only option. It's not true. You can call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 803-281-6860. Get to your office and call QC Kinetics. Get rid of that joint pain and live the summer that you deserve to live. 803-281-6860 again is how you can call QC Kinetics to help get your life back. One more time, that phone number for QC Kinetics, 803-281-6860. That's QC Kinetics.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com.
We do have a report of an accident. I-26 eastbound there at Sunset Boulevard. Again, that's exit 110. An accident I-26 eastbound right there at exit 110. We're also looking at a tie-up on I-26 eastbound. So I-26 eastbound at mile marker 145, a report of an accident there. I-77 northbound at mile marker 12, an accident. And Two Notch Road at Spears Creek Church Road, you'll find an accident as well. So be careful out there this morning. And the forecast for today, going to be nice, sunny for the next couple of days. 75 today, 79 tomorrow, 80 by the time we hit Wednesday. It's breezy right now, though. Kind of cool. 50, 107.5 The Game.
This is Boomer Science with CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Indeed. Attract, interview, and hire at Indeed.com/credit. This weekend's Miami Grand Prix made the Super Bowl NFL experience look like child's play. The cheapest grandstand seats for this Formula One extravaganza cost $640. Even hats are $80 a piece or more. How bougie can you get? A Boomer Science.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash-out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. Rocket. Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Sponsored by Midland Air Service Experts.
Water heater worries? There's an expert for that.
Let your local experts at Midland Air Service Experts give you worry-free hot water as low as $28.99 plus tax a month. Call 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Hey, if you've got a hole in your roof or you need a whole new roof, You need to call Mid-State Roofing, 356-1919. For nearly a quarter of a century, Mid-State Roofing has established its reputation as the leader in the roofing industry. Whether it's above your head or at your feet, perhaps a leaky foundation, 356-1919 is the number to call for all your roofing and waterproofing needs. The quality and craftsmanship of a Mid-State roofing system are tops in the industry, especially commercial and industrial roofing systems. If you own or you're in charge of a large building, warehouse, or industrial facility, then you're in charge of that roof. And at some point, a roof is going to need some attention. So the number to call for advice, service, results, and a commitment to customer satisfaction is 356-1919. See all that Midstate has to offer when you click on midstateroofing.com. Tell them, Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
356-1919, midstateroofing.com.
Hey, y'all, Jay Phillips here from my good friends at Dan's Fan City in Harbison. Ceiling fans don't sound like something you think about a lot because you don't really need to, but when you've got good ones, they work so well, keeping energy costs down and your comfort level up. All kinds of fans at Dan's Fan City, big to small and quiet. Quality fans. They have accessories and light kits, fan blades, and more. Stop by and see them soon. Harbison Boulevard next to Total Wine, or call Dan's Fan City 781-FANS. You'll be glad you did.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game
with Bill Gunter, Patrick Perret, and Jen Jensen
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
$8:20 on a Monday morning. Bill Gunter, John Whittle joining me in studio, talking some baseball. We'll get back into baseball, but coming up 2 weeks from today, actually a week from today, I'll be down in Florence for the Florence Gamecock Club golf tournament down there. Should be a lot of fun. Hanging out with some good friends down there. Actually, I think we'll see some coaches down there. I'll be in studio in the morning and then head down in the afternoon. I think it's a 1 o'clock tee time down in Florence. Look forward to being down there. And 2 weeks from today, out at Charwood Golf Club, our good buddy Rock Lucas will hold the tournament for the BigSpur.com that you guys, I think the last time we did that, Whittle, well, you guys sent some pictures to me or put them on Twitter recently. That was a different looking Bill Gunner in those. I don't even think that Bill Gunner had a beard back then. That was several years ago out at where did we do that out at
The Woodlands.
So years ago. So you guys are reviving the BigSpur.com golf tournament. You're doing it for an awesome cause, one I know that's very near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, we took an 11-year hiatus.
Yep.
So natural to come back now, right? Right. So, but no, we wanted to have a get together for our members. They've been talking about wanting a golf tournament for a while. We thought, yeah, this is a great time to come back. And Ryan Fisher was a good friend to a lot of us and knew a lot of folks in Gamecock land. So, he passed away last September. And he's got a scholarship fund in his name over with the University of South Carolina baseball, where he started out as a manager and became a full-time, employee over there with that program. So he's got a scholarship fund in his name that goes to benefit the student managers. So, that's what we're raising money towards right now and hoping to put a few bucks into that fund. So.
For people that don't know, or maybe not as familiar, talk a little. Ryan Fisher was a friend of yours, a guy that you knew very well. Talk a little bit about Ryan, and yeah, he was a guy that I think a couple years ago gave me some hats. Very nice of it. Made fun of my head size because I think he was searching through the equipment. It was like, I don't think we have hats that small, but I'm sure we can find some toddler hats around here somewhere. I was like, oh, that's very nice of you. But talk a little bit about Ryan, and certainly as you just mentioned, the contributions he had to South Carolina baseball that was kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah. They've probably found some old youth camp hats or something like that.
Yeah. So long, very old. Let's put it that way. Tommy Moody wore them back in the day. They just shrank now.
No, but he started out as a baseball student manager and became a full-time employee over there and was at football for a while under Chris Matlock, who everybody in the state knows. I feel like I think he came in under Lou Holtz, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Ryan sort of came up through the University of South Carolina. Came in as a student from up in Virginia, and first time I actually became familiar with him, we became familiar with each other, was on the intramural football fields at South Carolina my team won.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we became good buddies, and Ryan is just known really well in the Gamecock community because of that kind of personality. He would have cut up with anybody, had some friendly banter with you, and it doesn't surprise me a lick that he was making fun of your head size.
He thinks that was very creative. People want to sign up for the golf tournament. Again, it'll be not next Monday, the following Monday, May 23rd at Charwood Golf Club. The phone number for Charwood, I'm sure if you can sign up, is 803-755-2000. Again, that's 803-755-2000. Talk a little bit about the golf tournament and kind of what y'all have going on that day.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to take registrations over there or not. We've got a thread pinned to the top of our message board, or I'm sure if you just put the Big Spur Golf Tournament into your little Google browser there, that'll come up. We've got an online registration on a site called BirdEase, BirdEase.com. And then the Big Spur's the name for it there. So that's where you can sign up. It's $75 a person, $250 if you want to sign up for a foursome. There's sponsorship opportunities available. We're shooting for about 100 folks, and there's about a little over 70 now. So we still have a few spots left, but we don't have a whole lot. But we've got some great drawing prizes. We've got some stuff from Whit Merrifield, Grayson Griner, Will Crow, South Carolina football, Vista Art. We've got some we got some great things that are going to happen out there.
I like this. I'm reading on thebigspur.com what you posted. Whit Merrifield told me he's going to send a box of stuff. So jock straps and used cups and gum wrappers. Who knows? It's just going to be a box of stuff you can auction on. It's
going to be coming from his parents' house. So I'm going to assume that they don't have any of those kind of things over there. Maybe a bat, maybe autograph. I know that we're gonna get at least a Whit Merrifield autograph bobblehead doll, which I claimed. No, we're gonna get a box of goodies out there. So I know a couple of things we're getting, but we'll see what all comes.
You can go register for that again. And I do know, just knowing Rock and how they operate, I'm pretty sure that if you call out there, they will gladly get you signed up and you can pay or do whatever the day of. 803-755-2000. You can also go to thebigspur.com and click on the TBS golf tournament update where John has put a post up, and you can do that. We come back, we'll talk a little basketball with you as well. South Carolina also got a football commitment yesterday, the first public commitment. That was kind of nice, right? To have one that goes public. Am I the only one? We used to work together, so we're familiar with this, but like the welcome home thing is really cool at first, but when you put one out and then the kid still hasn't, when you put one out in January and they haven't committed, to lose a little luster, right? Like you kind of roll your eyes just a little at it now, like
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. I understand the reasoning behind it, but when we get questions on the message board, not every day, but every hour, about when's this guy going to commit? When's he going to go public? Is he still committed? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Why is it taking so long? Is he having other opportunities? Like the questions just keep on coming. But we love our passionate members. I'm not making fun of them. They're passionate. I understand. But yeah, sometimes those welcome homes are. I wish they were a little bit closer to announcement time.
Zabari Sandy, 6'1", 205-pound safety from St. John's in Washington, D.C. So the Gamecocks go into the D.C. area again and get Zabari Sandy, who also had offers from, I think amongst his final five was Mississippi, Tennessee, and West Virginia, just to name a few. So South Carolina does pick up its first public commitment yesterday on Mother's Day is Zabari Sandy. Again, a 6'1", 205-pound safety prospect, could also play nickel, commits to South Carolina. We'll talk a little basketball with you, get back into some baseball discussion, and continue to remind y'all about the TBS, the BigSpur.com golf tournament coming up 2 weeks from today at Charwood Golf Club. You can call out there, 803-755-2000. You can go to thebigspur.com and sign up there as well. You're listening to the early game. Bill Gunner, John Whittle filling in for Patrick Perrette this morning, and Jen Jensen working on her wheel of agony in there. It's a craft project in there, an arts and crafts. Jen is having a blast in there. She's been just cutting stuff up. It looks like, let's go to the live stream real quick here. Jen, we got a good view of you want to show the live stream? Look at that. That is beautiful. She'll spin it tomorrow. Oh man, I hope she gets karaoke outside right here. Right there, karaoke outside is what I'm pulling for. Or playing the flute or or the kazoo up and down Gervais Street also would be a winner.
Mm-hmm. It would be. Get some steps in,
That's right. That's
Gotta
right.
look at the positives there.
That's right. So we'll have all that tomorrow. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game has your sports as it happens live, streaming, and free.
Oh, Patrick, struggling to tailgate. The problem this weekend is he didn't have a car from Love Chevy. It's well known if you purchase a car from Love Chevy, you are automatically a professional tailgater. One of those Silverados, maybe a Tahoe, you know exactly what you are doing. And when you pull into the parking lot, people there know that you are a professional tailgater. Now, that is not necessarily a reason to just run out to Love Chevrolet and purchase a vehicle. There's much better reasons, like the $1,000 low price guarantee, which means you can actually go shop other dealerships, take their deal back to the folks at Love Chevrolet, and they'll top it, or they'll write you a check for $1,000. The incredible selection, 14 acres of brand new Chevys. Right now, it's a time of high demand and low supply, but at Love Chevrolet, things continue on as usual, where you can find the car or truck you've been looking for. But most importantly, the reason I recommend and endorse and work with Love Chevrolet is an incredible sales staff. I was talking about Dennis Rowe just a little while ago and how his Boston Bruins have won 2 straight games to even the series with the Carolina Hurricanes. The whole staff out there, absolutely phenomenal. They'll treat you with professional courtesy from the time you arrive on the lot to the time you drive off with your brand new vehicle. They're trustworthy. And in this day and age, spending money on a brand new vehicle, it can be expensive. It can be something that causes a little bit of anxiety because you're making a big purchase in life. The folks at Love Chevrolet, they take care of you. They make you feel comfortable with the brand new purchase that you're making. So go visit Love Chevrolet, I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park. You can visit them on the web, lovechevy.com. You can even speak with a seasoned professional over the web and pick out the car or truck you've been looking at. So give Love Chevrolet a call today or go check them out on the web, lovechevy.com. I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park, or on the web, lovechevy.com. Get out to Love Chevrolet and find new roads.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
Still have a few slowdowns to let you know about this morning. I-26 eastbound there at mile marker 145, an accident there. Also, Two Notch Road at Spears Creek Church Road. I-77 northbound at mile marker 10. We do have a report of a tie-up there. Also getting a report of a slowdown, I-77 northbound at mile marker 22. So be cautious in that area if you would. And other than that, things moving along fairly well for your Monday morning. Your forecast for today, we're going to see sunshine actually for the next few days, and we definitely will enjoy that. 75 today. And then it should be a high of about 78 tomorrow and up to 80 on Wednesday. But we just have that kind of cooler start this morning. It's a little bit breezy. It's 53 at 107.5 The Game.
Metz Plumbing is growing and looking for exceptional plumbers and apprentices. If you enjoy helping people and our community, if you want a flexible work schedule, if you're looking to earn $85,000 to $100,000 per year plus benefits and paid time off, if you want free training in order to become a licensed plumber, and if you're ready for a rewarding career as part of a family, then we want to talk to you. For information, call Ashley at 732-DRIP or apply online at metzplumbing.com.
Metz Plumbing, 732-DRIP.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors, part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability, Z Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Bring home the Kubota L2501 tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $1,100 now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Stop by Pioneer Farm Equipment in Orangeburg, 1 mile off I-26, exit 154B, or at pioneerfarmsc.com.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's That's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FREE for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's promo code FREE. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FREE for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code FREE for a $5 bonus.
Summer is almost here. While you prep your home for some fun in the sun, something sinister could be happening beneath the surface.
Turn that off and turn my speaker on, so in case Jen gets in there and starts talking. But yeah, so you can see, you go back through, and we've got our own. Yeah, I mean, it's basically like a little chat room promoted on YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitter. Yeah, you can get in here, and normally we got a bunch of them who get in there. Trey and Hope, got a bunch of them. I mean, go all the way back to the top where DC was in at 6:01 this morning, ready to go. Jerry, Larry, Anthony. So we've got a good little group. But yeah, they can get in there and they can participate in our discussion, or they can participate in their own discussion. That's kind of
any discussion on WWE Backlash last night.
Not much discussion on.
No thoughts on Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair.
Did not even know that was taking place. How Ronda Rousey's getting old? She's gonna be late 30s.
Probably. She was beating the crap out of Charlotte Flair with
a
kendo stick.
I can see that because Ronda Rousey's kind of a more physical woman than Charlotte Flair, I would think. But yeah, there's the YouTube page. So we're a little over 1,000 subscribers. We're kind of holding steady there, a little over. Now that just shows you the number of views for just the YouTube, not counting what comes in on Facebook and Twitter.
$8:35 on a Monday morning. Bill Gunner, John Whittle been talking a lot of stuff from the weekend, the Goodyear 400, in which Jen and Patrick were down there all taking it in and enjoying a very nice Mother's Day. Hopefully all the mothers out there had a great Mother's Day. You got something special from your family, a hug, a kiss, maybe just a card, I don't know, a rose, anything. But hopefully all the mothers out there with a very, very nice Mother's Day. Certainly happy Mother's Day from everybody here at the early game. We've talked a lot about, though, the Goodyear 400, the Kentucky Derby on Saturday night, and now joined in studio by John Whittle of thebigspur.com. Again, the bigspur.com golf tournament coming up May 23rd, Monday, May 23rd, 2 weeks from now. You may as well go ahead. You're already going to have May 30th, most of you, Memorial Day, May 30th. You may as well make it back-to-back Mondays off. Just go play. What time is the golf tournament? I have not looked.
Shotgun start at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. 9 a.m. So, yeah.
Registration starts 7:30.
There you go. Bright and early. So look forward to that coming up 2 weeks from today. Let's talk a little basketball here for a second. You and I talked about it last week, but we were kind of low on time. We actually talked about it last Tuesday. You were on for the birthday celebration show. I forgot about that. To which our segment ran long. Patrick got very upset with me because I put him in a bad spot. It's interesting to see. I think the big thing, John, that we talked about is Malachi Smith. But you look around now at how they're trying to fill this roster out. Malachi Smith is still not going to make any decisions, it appears, until the end of June when he has full information on his NBA draft stock. But you look around at the way you're trying to fill this roster out, and I'll admit I'm a little confused right now. You've got Chico Carter and Jacoby Wright. Zachary Davis is coming in, and he's 6'8". That's another guard. You've added Michi Johnson, Ebo, because that's the easiest thing for me to say, coming in from Coastal Carolina. So it does feel like the focus now shifts a little bit more toward the finding some big guys that can come in and play behind Josh Gray or Javon Benson or players like that.
Yeah. I think they want another big dude, as you mentioned. They also want kind of a long scorer, as I understand it. They want a wing, got some length, and can shoot. And it sounds like something everybody wants,
right? Yeah.
But that's also what they're looking for right now. So those are kind of the two chief priorities, from what I can gather from talking with folks over there. is finding another big guy and finding a long wing who can go out there and score some. But this staff has put kind of a premium on having guys who can shoot. And I think that'll be music to some folks' ears out there who think Frank Martin couldn't recruit any shooters. He had quite a few good ones, but maybe not enough of them, in terms of depth. But yeah, so that's those are the two big priorities right there. They've got 3 scholarship spots left, 1 walk-on spot left. So they've still got a few holes to fill.
Looking ahead to next year and off of the top of your head, if you can remember this, I am looking at the schedule and trying to gauge how Lamont Paris would like to do this in year 1. If I'm thinking correctly, Clemson will come here. I believe South Carolina goes right now currently on the schedule to UAB, to Alabama Birmingham. I believe that was a home and home deal that they signed with Andy Kennedy's team from last year. And they go to Georgetown. I believe we know of those 3. I don't think the Florida State game, even though it was the No Room for Racism tournament, I don't feel like that there was a game scheduled for Rock Hill and then like Orlando or something in Florida. The other thing we know of is the Charleston Classic. And John, that Charleston Classic is going to be very, very interesting because Bob Ritchie's going to be down there with Furman and Pat Kelsey's going to be down there with College of Charleston. Those are 2 names that I at least mentioned prominently on this program. And I feel like Bob Ritchie may want to get a hold of South Carolina the best he can to see how his Paladins match up against Lamont Paris's Gamecocks.
I think you're absolutely right on that one. Yeah, that's usually an interesting tournament down there anyway, because they usually bring in some good teams and have some local flavor as well. So I'm really looking forward to being there for that. I was sitting there right on the floor when Dominique Archie came
Both
down
of us
on
were.
that breakaway.
I think you sent me to the
dunk.
back to follow him. I was breaking multiple HIPAA laws in the back, searching for what the injury was.
And it was that really derailed that what could have been a great season. Anyway, but yes, you're exactly right on I think all those schedule things. I'm not 100% sure on UAB, but I think you're right on that.
I think so.
So it's we'll see what kind of scheduling philosophy Lamont has going forward. A lot of this schedule was, not all of it, but a lot of this schedule was put together for him previously, and contract signed and all that good stuff. So maybe they try to get out of a few things here and there and replace with some of the opponents they want to share. But I'm sure that will not be the Charleston Classic. I'm sure they'll end up being down there in what should be a great tournament with some very interesting storylines.
Can you update us real quick? Football question. There was a report out that I think it was Jacksonville State Gamecocks, a Gamecocks first Gamecocks game in 2023. Do we know any more about that as it pertains to football scheduling and what South Carolina could be doing in the future?
I need to double check on that. Right when that report came out, it was premature, and I'm not discrediting the journalist who wrote it, because they wrote it based on the athletics director's public comments to basically what amounts to their board of trustees. So he was telling their power players that they had a that they were playing that game and there was a deal in place. Well, there's kind of a verbal deal in place, but it's also contingent on South Carolina losing one of their opponents. Liberty is going into a new football conference, and their scheduling may prevent them from being able to play South Carolina at the date that is scheduled. And if that ends up being the case, then you have your opponent. But that's not quite finalized, but I would call it likely at this point.
803-404-6100 if you want to send in a question for Whittle this morning. We'll get back into kind of some final thoughts on baseball, just the program moving forward. What you know about where the program is, what you know about some of the recruits coming in, and what you could think this roster could potentially look like next year. Again, given the knowledge you have as we sit here on May the 9th at 8:42, things do tend to change. We'll get into that and wrap up the program. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The Extra Point.
With Pearson, Preston, and Gamecock Central.
9 a.m. to noon.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Talking about these golf tournaments, you need to be in good shape. You need to feel good to get out and play in these golf tournaments. And if you've been suffering from back pain lately, it's time to go visit Casey Chiropractic Center. They've been serving the Midlands since 19 62. That's right. Dr. Pate and Dr. Roman Cooper, the brothers over there, the brothers Cooper, they make sure that you get back to living the life that you want to live. Both of them with over 20 years of experience in the industry. That's combined over 40 years of experience in chiropractic, healthcare, and non-surgical disc decompression. It'll help alleviate low back pain, mid back pain, neck pain, headaches, leg and arm numbness and pain. They treat all ages, regardless of what's going on. They're going to make you feel better. You need to get in touch with our good friends at Casey Chiropractic and Disc Center of Columbia, 803-796-2424. They are a pay-as-you-go practice. They've got an incredibly friendly staff. I've been over there myself and hung out with them, and they file all major insurance plans. So don't wait a day longer if you've been experiencing neck pain or headaches, mid-back pain. Call Casey Chiropractic today, 803-796-2424. They will go over and explain any MRIs or x-rays you have had to have, or they can help you with. They can also help refer out for ultra low price MRIs locally. So the great doctors, they're not just helping you in their office, they're being able to put you in touch with other people. Find out how Casey Chiropractic can get you back to living the life you want to live. 803-796-2424. Again, that's 803-796-2424. Call Casey Chiropractic Center. Tell them you heard it here on 107.5 The Game with Bill Gunner.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
And taking another look at the traffic conditions out there this morning, we do have a tie-up Dutch Fork Road at Bickley Road. Also, I-77 southbound at mile marker 6, still reporting a slowdown there. Two Nuts Road at Spears Creek Church Road, we have an accident. And I-26 eastbound at mile marker 145, anticipating a slowdown there if you're heading that direction. Beautiful forecast on tap. Looking for a high today of 75 up to 80 by Wednesday. It's a breezy 53 right now at 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big with wide format signs and banners. Right now, get $10 off custom printed signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 7/2. Visit staples.com/this is your sign for details. This is your sign to print big at Staples.
The summer months are just in front of us. That means coming home and jumping into your pool to relax in the afternoon. But if you have a dirty pool, if you've got things that are clogging up the filters, it's time to call Corley Pool Solutions. Flat rate pricing, including all the chemicals. It's actually more affordable to use Corley Pool Solutions than for you to visit the pool store. So don't wait. Call them today, 803-445-8109. Corley Pool Solutions actually offers leak detection right now. Have you been noticing some water missing from your pool? Maybe it's down an inch and a half, and you're wondering what's going on. Corley Pool Solutions offers leak detection. So on top of flat rate pricing, Corley Pool Solutions will make sure that water is staying in your pool. With no contracts, a weekly cleaning, that flat rate pricing, Corley Pool Solutions is here to make sure that pool, which has its own personality, and someone needs to be visiting it regularly, is taken care of. 803-445-8109. That's Corley Pool Solutions.
Okay, let's start unloading the sod over here.
The grass is always greener when Haruka's Lawn Care does the mowing.
And then we want to get the flower bed started before lunch.
They need a new landscaping designer to keep their budding business growing.
Oh, can we double check the incline here? This one needs to drain this way.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? Quality oil like Mobil 1 Full Synthetic can help you get more out of every mile. Got an older vehicle? Try Mobil 1 Full
Final segment of the program. Bill Gunner, John Whittle joining us here in studio this morning as we get you through the Monday morning portion of your work week. Hope you are up and at 'em, ready to go after a very fun weekend across the board for the Goodyear 400, to which Jen had a blast down there at. Patrick, we assume, has made it out alive, or we have no clue. And then the Kentucky Derby this past weekend. Unfortunately for South Carolina baseball, it was a rough weekend as they dropped 2 of 3. But Whittle, let's kind of look ahead now, because a lot of people, at least on the Buford Lending live stream and on our text line, are upset, understandably so. 24-22, 10-14 is not the typical standard for South Carolina. And a lot of people are saying, well, let's do this with the coaching, let's do that with the coaching. But let's talk about next year's team for a second and what you see this team having. A lot of injuries, the pitching staff. I'm assuming Julian Bosnick not back. You were talking about him. So how do you see not so much the rotation, but the pitching for next year with this team?
Yeah, I think it's going to be in a pretty good place. I mean, you return most of these guys who have done really well. Noah Hall, somebody who I'm curious to see what he's going to end up doing, because he's pitched so well here down the stretch that he's worked himself into the conversation to get drafted high enough to go. So, if you lose him, that's obviously a big deal. But you have Will Sanders back, Jack Mahoney's coming back, and he should be 100% full go. Like he'll be almost a year, or excuse me, almost 2 years off of surgery by the time the season comes around next year. It usually takes about 18 months for you to start feeling good. So I anticipate him being fine. But they return some really good pitchers. They bring in some really good pitchers. I mean, there are going to be some concerns offensively because of A, what you lose, but B, there's not right now in that class a whole lot of guys who can come in and have an immediate impact offensively. And, you're still sitting at or near the bottom in a lot of statistical categories offensively. And I know a lot of these guys are young, but you're also losing some of your top guys too. So going to need some transfer portal help offensively, probably 3 guys, if I had to guess, 3 offensive players. And, you're going to have to find those guys throughout the course of the summer. So, I think they're in a pretty good place overall. If whether it's Mark Kingston or whoever, I feel like next year's roster is going to be in a pretty good spot. You've gotten some great contributions out of some freshmen and some young guys, and they're going to do nothing but get better over the course of their career. So bring back Kevin Madden, bring back Josiah Seitler, add a couple of pieces through the transfer portal. I think you're in a decent spot to start out with offensively. I think you're in a really good spot from a pitching standpoint.
Ray Tanner made a living off of being able to go to the junior college ranks and pluck 2 or 3 guys that would magically show up and be just massive pieces to the roster. And I'm instantly thinking of Garris Gauntz. I'm drawing a blank on the third baseman that came in that was, I want to say a hothead, but it was, who am I thinking of? That
Brian Busher was a great junior college.
Brian
Busher. I'm not sure about hothead, but
who was the one? He was on the national championship teams. That
Adrian Morales.
He was third. He was junior college, right?
Yeah, third baseman kind of guy. Wingo was over there at second.
Yep.
They brought him in to compete with Scott Wingo at that second base job, and both of them. Adrian really elevated Scott's game, and I'm sure Scott would tell you that too. But yes.
But I guess my question is, we saw Ray Tanner be able to utilize the junior college portal. Well, now it's the transfer portal that we've seen just dominate headlines in basketball and football. How does the transfer portal, in your opinion, affect the Ray Tanner idea of junior colleges? Does it make the junior college less significant in recruiting? Is it still just as much, but we don't see it? Is it easier to go try and find a transfer portal guy than it is going the junior college route down in Florida?
Yeah, absolutely less significant.
Really?
Yeah. There are still times to go down and get junior college guys, and South Carolina's got a couple of them in this class who are pitchers, but they still scour those junior college ranks. They're still going over to SMC and Flodar and all these places, but a lot of folks are waiting to see what goes on in the transfer portal. You also have a better idea of what you're going to need. A lot of the junior college recruiting process happens the fall before you play your spring season, right? If that makes sense.
Right.
So after your season, you have a better glimpse of what you need, and you can go out in the transfer portal and get it. Whether it's a D1 guy who there's plenty of film on, and exactly what you're getting, or somebody from maybe a mid-major level. It's just the transfer portal is becoming more of a focus. It's not that junior college recruiting is completely gone by the wayside, but transfer portal is more where it's at right now.
Overall, SEC. Somebody brought this up on, I believe, our text line earlier, and I thought it was kind of interesting. You look at the SEC overall, and South Carolina, obviously, we know their struggles, but Florida's 11-13, 29-18 overall. Vanderbilt's 12-12, 31-15 overall. You look at those two programs. Vanderbilt's won a national championship. You can scroll down; they're not even on the list that I'm looking at right now. Mississippi State, defending national champion. More parity in college baseball? Is it down years for those programs? What do you attest to? Some really good programs that are just, South Carolina included, not having the years that they're accustomed to. What do you see here in SEC baseball?
I think the COVID deal has thrown off some rosters a little bit. They've made some teams older, and they've made some teams really young quick. Like Mississippi State was a hugely talented roster last year that they lost basically everybody off of. And it was going to be tough coming into this year for them, but they had several pitching injuries that have, put them to where they are. Like I did the SEC tournament standings last night, and they they had to beat Kentucky in a tiebreaker to make the SEC tournament. Forget the NCAAs; they're in a much worse spot than South Carolina. They're down in the 70s or 80s, something like that. It's I think roster makeup has a lot to do with it right now. You look at Georgia; they're having a great season this year, and it's you look up and down their lineup. They have I think it's 5 guys or 6 guys in their starting lineup who are seniors or older, who have been in college 4 years or longer. So, I think that's part of it, because some of these teams that are ultra talented have lost a lot of guys last year, and that's why some of those bigger programs are down, and some of the other ones who have older guys are up.
He's John Whittle. Thank you for joining us this hour to talk a little sports, but also the Big Spur Golf Tournament for the Ryan Fisher Scholarship that South has given out. You can go to thebigspur.com and sign up for that golf tournament, May 23rd, 2 weeks from today. How's the swing looking?
Can't wait. No, it doesn't look good for me.
Okay, so you'll just be hanging out. You'll be hanging out. Jen, we'll spin that wheel of agony tomorrow. What do you think, Whittle? It's pretty there. 5 seconds. Looks good, though, doesn't it?
I love it. I'm coming back in studio.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. The early game, 107.5 The Game. All right, everybody. Thank you for being a part of the live stream. See you to DC, Anthony. Everybody take care.